I'm not muted.
Ladies and gentlemen, growers and freaks of nature, welcome to the Adam Dunn Show, Freak Show Edition. I'm James from seedsherenow.com, and tonight we're not just crashing the party, we're running the damn tent. This is the official Seeds Here Now Takeover, and we're digging deep into the wild mind of the man behind some of cannabis's most iconic strains. We're going way back to the sticky sweet legend of bubblegum, to the high strangeness of MK Ultra, and into the underground vault of Adam's mixtape breeder series, where every drop was a secret hit, passed from hand to hand like contraband knowledge. But that's just the warm-up. Because tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on his latest creation, the one that's got the whole industry talking. The Freak Show release. 8 new strains. 8 unique mutations. 8 living, breathing middle fingers to the idea that cannabis has to look or grow a certain way. From the candy-coated chaos of bubblegum to the mind-bending mystery of MK Ultra, this is Adam Dunn's journey through cannabis evolution, one freaky phenotype at a time. So buckle up, light up, and keep your eyes on the stage, because the curtain's up, the lights are hot, and the freaks are just getting started. Ladies and gentlemen, growers and freaks of nature, welcome to the Adam Dunn Show, Freak Show Edition. I'm James from seedsherenow.com. And tonight...
Are you sure? James, you're repeating yourself.
You're in charge,
Adam
James.
Dunn Show.
That was spectacular.
It sounded just like you.
It was very good.
That was so great. Hi, James.
Hello.
Hello.
Great.
You guys can see I'm coming as Bentley tonight. I'm dressed up as Bentley.
I was going to ask, who is this? Is this your puppy?
I love how you can talk without your lips moving.
Oh.
I have a mask on, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I wasn't sure if this was an AI. I don't think I've ever seen your dog.
Well,
Cute.
welcome my new host.
Your mic's not on.
Welcome, Adam Dunn Show listeners.
Yeah, no, you're not here, Adam. You're just here as a prop.
Yo, I'm not.
there we go.
No, is it?
Yeah, now
Okay,
you
I
are.
don't know.
I can hear you.
Dave couldn't hear me. All right.
I can hear you.
Well, here we are. Thanks, James, for taking over, so I can just kick back and answer questions for once instead of trying to figure it all out. What you?
Sorry about that.
What do you got, hostess with the mostest
How's your
beaner?
Halloween going in Mexico?
I'm trying to change my screen. I'm having issues. I'm having some issues. Halloween's going good, except for down here it's Day of Dios de los Muertos. So it's and I kind of like no offense to the United States, but I kind of like Dia de los Muertos more than Halloween,
I do
for
too.
example. So
I do too.
it's like a 7 days, and it's more of, for people who aren't familiar with it, they will make like an altar and they celebrate the people who have been in your lives that have died. And so it's more less of a Halloween thing. So it's kind of ghosts and scary things, but it's more of like you remember the people that were in your life, and you make a shrine and you put things that person liked on that shrine. And so like I have a shrine and it's got a picture of Tank, my dog, and it's got some like those pieces of bacon that he liked to eat. So it kind of remembers
some dirty
him.
bacon on your altar. Nice.
That's
I've got some
wonderful.
bacon in there. It's got some dog treats, but just people in your life that passed away that you kind of remember on this for this week of the year. So
there you go. Is it the same exact time, or?
Yes. Oh, yeah. It's October 27th through November 2nd.
Gotcha.
It's always that week. It's always the real, like their real day is November 1st, where Halloween, I guess it's Hallows Eve, I guess, right?
So what is the lore, James? If you think about somebody, they'll come back and spend a week with you.
Well, no, they're always with you, right? You're just paying tribute to them. You're remembering them. You're giving them a week of your year, so to say, to reminisce on them and remember what they liked and remember your good times with them and look back at a reflection of positivity, not like, oh, they're dead and sad. Kind of like, no, they were here and they, what the time we had was great, and this is how we're still living life. Now in Mexico, some people get crazy with it, and they'll go and they offer like. They'll bring their people Cokes. Like, Coke is so big here, it's worked into their whole funeral processions. Like, they bring dead people bottles of Coke and put it on their tombstones.
Yeah,
Swear to God.
Coca-Cola.
Coke. Okay, got it.
Dave looked so confused.
It's like, what is going on?
No,
A
not
cola.
that Coke.
A cola.
That Coke is actually coming up on the shores right now, thanks to the hurricanes. That's that's the true fish scale, if you will.
Everybody in Miami is going to the coast just to see if any bales cocaine wash up from Jamaica.
Yeah, well, Miami's a bit far. They're coming in. Cozumel's right here. But yeah, I think I told you guys last week Melissa was going to be a pain in the ass, and sure enough,
Yeah.
she looked
Yeah,
to
it
wreak some
really-
havoc.
No, it's
Definitely,
really
you
shitty.
did exactly what you were a good weatherman there, James. You nailed it.
Well, it's just because I was so scared. Like I saw it coming, and I was like, I made a call. I called the man upstairs. I said, hey, don't you dare send this fucking to me. Like, you get rid of this and you move it away. And so thankfully he did.
There he is.
Hey.
There he is.
So good to see you.
But yeah, it was a hell of a storm, right? Like, it raced up on Jamaica and then sat there for like 3 days just talking shit, like 100 miles offshore, just talking shit and getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I
and
saw
bigger,
100,
just talking
185 mile an hour gusts.
Is that how
So it's
weatherman
holy-
talks? He goes, the hurricane is talking shit.
I actually
well,
love the way
it
that
did.
you put that.
shit. Did it not? When you look at it, it ran up on Jamaica and then
Just out there
stood there for
talking
2
shit.
days off the coast, just building, getting from it approached Jamaica as a tropical storm. Within 2 days, it was a Category 5. Was the strongest to ever make landfall at 185, like Adam said. So yeah,
It made landfall at 185?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
it came ashore as a Cat 5, full on, no stopping.
Fuck.
So yeah,
Crazy.
Jamaica man.
Prayers for that whole
Well,
place.
sending love to anybody who was listening in Jamaica or who is listening now, and James Bean.
I called it.
Is
I
the
let you guys
reason?
know ahead of
Is the
time.
reason it happened?
Yeah, well, kind of. I didn't want it coming to me, right? Like, that's the thing. It's be somebody else's headache. I didn't want it to hit Cozumel. If it would have hit Cozumel, it would have swamped us. And the thing was, it was like I said, it was 3 years to the day when Wilma hit Cozumel. And Wilma sat for like 2 days on top of Cozumel and flooded it. And these towns don't look. These towns are a little rough to start with. You know what I mean? And you put a hurricane on them, and I think they get even rougher. And I don't want to see rougher.
That's a shame.
Well, yeah, when you saw like Kingston, the city, it didn't look so bad, you know what I mean? But then you saw outside where it was all the little shantytown style shit, and that was like, okay, and that's gone. And the fucking like you were talking about, the water level was crazy, like with the
10, 20, 10, 15 feet surge, like because it just sat offshore for talking shit, would just build up all that water and build up all that rush. And so when it finally came on, it just brought all that build up with it. But so funny thing about Mexico is, if you're making an addition to your house and it's not finished, you don't have to pay taxes on it.
so everyone has half finished.
So
there's
nothing's
lots
finished.
of additions here that aren't finished, that are they're quite there, but they're not quite finished. They're not, termed as finished. So yeah, those things would have blown up in a hurry, just gone away. And that in Cancun's only been there for 40, 50 years. Like, it was 40 years ago, it was nothing. Like, there's no history of Cancun. There's a small fishing village. There's no, traditions there, because it's all people who've come and stayed there. It was a Mexican.
When I was there,
Interesting.
when I was there in '88, I guess there was like 4 big buildings, 5 maybe or something like that, and it was like there wasn't much. Like, it was definitely nothing like I'm sure it was now, and it's the same like Fort Lauderdale. I just went back there recently, and I was like, holy fuck, dude! Like there was no skyline when I lived there. It was just like, that was around the 80s too, and it was like maybe one or two buildings, and now it's just like a huge skyline. And it was like, it's crazy when you see the buildings.
And thinking about, we'll get out of Cancun and back on the freaks here in a minute, but thinking about Cancun is they were very smart. There's an island that sits off like really close to Cancun, and they've made a bridge to and from that island, and that's the hotel zone. And so everybody that comes to Cancun, they go to the hotel zone. None of them ever go into the town. Like I'd say maybe less than probably 70% people have ever stepped into the town or the city of Cancun. They all go to the hotel zone. And the hotel zone, like I said, it's got bridges on both to get in and out of it, so it's highly secured. You put buses on there. They've got a Versace store. They've got a Michael Kors store. They've got like stores you wouldn't think are gonna be in Mexico, right? They're just there, and it's all walkable, and it's all to where Cabo is all kind of little compounds. Cancun's a big compound, and so everybody just stays out there on that island and lives and visits and does tourism shit. They never actually come into the town. All the people that work in the town work on the island, live in the town, of course. But
I've never been there before.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like they do applied security measures to the regions that need security, and the rest they let go to native.
Well, that, and then the hotel zone kind of turns into a buffer zone for hurricanes, right? Like that's the first thing a hurricane's going to hit is all the hotels before it gets to town. So,
it's like a trailer park in Miami.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I get it.
It works
I
out.
get it.
It works out.
Wow.
So we just want to dive straight into this and get into the goods. Is this an extended show, or how much time do we have here? By the way,
We have 2 hours. It's a short show.
It's a shorter show. It's 2 hours.
It's a shorter show.
So we got
we're extra for the Patreon.
Yeah, but that's different. That's gonna pay.
All right.
That's a big dollar.
I was just plugging the Patreon. That's all.
Yeah, well, I understand you're going to save some certain
Thank
photos
you,
for
James.
Patreon. So if you do want to see certain
photos.
things that will only happen, it's only $4.20 a month. And you know what we could even say? Just join Patreon. You don't even have to watch at first. We just want your money. No, we're kidding. $1.05. We don't do it for the money. Okay, so it's $1.05 an episode. You get 4 episodes a month, and from what I'm understanding from Vinnie now, the last Patreon will happen on Saturday during the festivities here at the new redesigned, if I understood correctly.
You're going really off the rails.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Nobody's following you.
The Patreon will be from in here while you get to the Connoisseur Cup.
Oh, there you go. Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, last Saturday of the month.
Last Saturday of the
It'll
month.
be on
Thanksgiving.
Saturday.
There you go.
Thanksgiving.
Dang.
That's on the 30th.
Thanksgiving.
Yes, of the month.
Yes.
End of the month.
Yeah,
Last Saturday every month.
that'll be fun.
We're already dialed
Which
in.
is cool. We did that last week, right? The Mr. Dunn's
That was
neighborhood.
fun, and it actually worked out really well, right? I think that was good.
Pretty cool.
I was gonna ask how that went. I didn't get to stay for it.
I heard from Vinny that it was having the mics out and everything and giving them all a forum to talk was quite important for the afternoons.
It worked out well.
Yeah.
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 It's like, okay, that made sense.
That's
It's like, oh, really? Me on the show? Like,
So I
yes.
got to ask Adam, what was this that you
Bring
just
it
gave
down.
me to roll here?
Death Star.
Holy fuck.
Is that what I'm smoking?
No, I gave you your own joint.
Of what?
This what? The
Whatever I
Death Star?
rolled first.
Whatever. He doesn't even know. What?
The Death Star, you said?
Yeah, that was.
I rolled that before
from,
he handed me this.
That was from the.
It wasn't like I chose.
From last week. From the thing. That was the first.
Oh,
entry.
cool.
First entry. First entry.
I want to smell it.
Death Star. So
Is
you
that
got-
a Smokus Focus top there?
That is a Smoker's Focus top.
Look at that. Shout out to Smokus Focus.
I still got like 20 of those things in my shop. Yeah, those are all right.
I thought they were the bomb, right, when they came on. Those little ones, they could light up, and
Yep.
dispensaries used to really be able to showcase
yeah,
their product.
That smells spectacular.
Yeah, we used to love to have them at the seed booth because I could get some buds from the breeders and then put them on next to the seeds. And people say, "Oh, what do the seeds look like?" Oh, here, look at the jar.
Hit your joint.
I love what Smokus Focus did. I'm just not a fan of ever having bud tenders have access to a jar that small because inevitably they're going to go, "Hey, take a look. Look at this." And they'll shake it up, and I just can't stand that.
Okay,
That's
that's
something me and Ross and
too.
Jeff were talking about at Dude Grows is like, what's the etiquette when somebody gives you a jar, right? Because somebody came up and asked him for a jar. I think I took it and just straight finger fucked it and then shook it all down. I was like, good God, like, how did some people not know?
Oh wow, no,
You got to buy a girl dinner first, Okay, you don't go
Be
straight.
gentle, tender.
Yes,
yeah.
right.
The new people, they don't really know, right? Like they're
don't
not
know.
in school on it. They're just there for it. So me and
It's
him
when they
we were
shake
talking
the
about-
jars when they go, oh, my God, what are you doing now? Oh, let me like you do that for every single person that walks in. By the end of the day, it's complete
And
trash.
you know what I used to think to myself
And
when
then
I saw that?
then there's the other extreme too, where you're like, dude, okay, they're like got the chopsticks out, and they're going like.
Oh, chopsticks!
Slow motion.
Go fuck yourself.
They're going in slow motion. The lines are building up, and you're like, "All right, this is taking it to the next level." You need, and then everybody goes pre-pack now, so it's really hard to find anywhere where you're doing deli style. Apparently, there's a few spots, but pretty much everybody figured out that it was way more efficient to have them already ready to go.
Yeah.
You can barely get a trained person to operate a cash register, let alone make them weigh something
With chopsticks.
precisely.
With chopsticks, yeah. No, I'm definitely not doing anything like that. This is spectacular, Adam. Holy smokes, this has some really great flavor.
Well,
on
there
it.
you go. See?
Well, just calm your horses there. That's just a starter palette, okay? He's got some other shit in those
I
jars.
know,
So
I'm
you guys
so
think
excited. I
last-
love
Calm
Friday.
Last
your
week-
horses.
last week he
That's
had
the
all the-
starter.
Last
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, we usually bust out some freaky shit later. It's gonna.
This
blow
is
your
the
socks off.
aperitif, is what you're saying, James.
It's the
Is it?
warm up.
Got it. Okay.
Last week those were the game last week.
No! Hold on. We have to make a public service announcement, James. Anybody in Mexico listening to us right now, please turn your internet off
There, last
and
week.
dial up, because James is
chunking.
is yeah.
He's chunking.
Yeah, he's really.
All right.
We need Cozumel to have some better internet.
I think we're better now.
I think we're better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just don't mention it. That's the thing. Just don't mention
That's what
No,
the
just
problem
keep
is.
it moving.
Yeah. Oh,
Why
yeah.
do
It's
you-
like you and the weather.
it. Yeah. All right, let's dive into this stuff here.
Thank you,
Now-
James. Keep us on track
people-
here, my friend.
For people who don't know, of course, so an odd story. I didn't know Adam was Adam until maybe 4 months into sponsoring a show. Like, Adam is very
Thought I was
humble. He
young.
doesn't talk about
doesn't-
himself. He doesn't blows his own
Well,
horn. He
that's-
doesn't.
he lets you
kinda
do
the
that.
I
opposite,
do it
though.
all the
thought
time, and he's
thought
like,
I thought I was
"Stop."
always talking
You
about
what?
myself. That's what I thought.
I do it all the time. I'm always
According to the chat, I always talk about myself, right? See, they know it's
No,
They don't listen.
Does
The
not.
chat does not
Y'all
listen
are
to the show,
funny.
Adam.
Oh, that chat actually doesn't even listen to the show. I
They
forgot.
don't.
Yeah, they're.
The master interrupter.
Yeah, about my own stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always about me. Me.
So this time it is about you, because anyhow, I don't think you talk about your stuff enough for me. I would like to hear some of these older stories about old strains, and I think the show, the people on the show would as well.
You know what's
And
funny?
so-
You know what's funny, James? Is last night
What's that?
Katie comes up to me. We're at a costume party, and Katie comes up. She goes, people just want to hear about your stories too. And I was like, well, imagine that. Guess what? James Bean is coming on to grill me tomorrow. So
I'm
it's like
ecstatic
she literally
about this.
like
I was like, I
brought it-
manifested this show. Yes.
yeah, she just like
That's the thing. Like a lot of people don't know that your history. I mean, they're used to the 2010 USA Dunn. That's what they're influenced with. In 2010 USA
Yeah,
Dunn.
he was still drinking then.
She's
I
behind
I came
him.
in
He
hot. I
wasn't
came in
pushing
hot.
JP.
I came in hot.
No,
That was
James,
the
he
thing.
was kind of chubby and an alcoholic. So
Oh, I've got some photos.
I
of
really
Dunn
appreciate
earlier.
the
Don't trust
evolution
me.
of it.
Wow.
I've been
But-
friends with him for years. And
But
to hear about
2010
all the-
Dunn was more about his show, his podcast, his culture, the clothing, the gear, like the whole picture. It wasn't like the start of something in his
See,
early
my,
years.
My
You know, he
problem
kinda-
always was that we were kind of like doing way too many things. Like, so we had like, oh, wait a minute. So everything in here is made out of hemp, and you're like, yeah. So because so basically, in Amsterdam when I was working at the Hash Museum, which turned into the Hemp Museum, right? Later, because Chris Conrad, who was the editor with Jack's book, who really kind of wrote he's the guy who put it all together. Jack was the mouthpiece who went out there and talked the talk.
he did the things, and one guy recorded the stories.
Yeah, well, Chris was like the real, like he if you notice, every footnote in that book is got like, it's like you, as you're reading it, you're like, holy shit, it's not just the information, but it actually shows you where it came from. And that's because Chris is like really on point. But anyway, they converted it into the Hemp Museum, right? So every single person that came through was like looking at all this hemp stuff. And then they were like, so where do I get this hemp? And you're like, oh, I don't know. Like, it was like literally like, yeah. All we had was one product, which was actually a pretty good one for the time period. It's a blue thin denim shirt, long sleeve with buttons that was called Stoned Wear, right? So it was kind of good tongue-in-cheek name. I liked it. It was a little bit small, like a little bit, because, classic, made in Asia or something, so it was like a little bit like, oh, that's a large, are you kidding me? So, but, so that's all we had to sell. So I was like always selling those, and people would always be like, it's not really the right. So I learned real quick about sizing. First of all, Americans don't fit in European sizes. That was my first curve. But we opened up the first hemp store in Europe in '93. And in '94, Henk van Dalen, who is Dutch Passion Seed Company, he opened up a hemp store like with his seed shop, right? And then it was like classic, because we were just like 20-something kids who were like opening up our first business. And the main reason we did it was because I realized I was in Amsterdam for about 4 years at the time. I'm way over. Like if I get pulled over or checked, I'm getting deported, right? Because they were pretty on point with that kind of shit. So I was like, I got to figure out a way to stay here because I want to live here forever, right? I was like, I'm never going back to America. And they have a agreement between the Dutch and the Americans.
Dutch-American friendship agreement.
There you go. You got it. And so you could get legal if you opened a business and you invested about $10,000
Exactly 10,000.
So you had to have it in the bank. You didn't really even have to. You could just show it, like, here it is, and then here, give the money back to your friend. So it was literally us trying to figure that out. And then what was funny was after we opened up our spot, which is the CIA, the first spot we had.
That was in Amsterdam.
Exactly. And we opened it up, and we learned everything.
Really illegal business named the CIA, by the way.
Well, yeah, and it was really funny because the building that we were in was like notorious. If you like stood back and looked at it, you were like, and it didn't dawn on me what was really going on. And we opened up our shop, which was on the second floor. Oh, and this is where the whole story goes back to Henk van Dalen, is because we were on the second floor. And we'd already been there for a year, and we pretty much introduced everybody to hemp in the town because we were like, running around with little swatches showing people like, this is hemp, you could get, and buying it by the roll, and I was selling it by the meter or whatever. And then Henk opens up his, and it's all like super snooty and, like classic. He had money to put it together, really sweet. Ours is like, people come in and go, is this a squat? And we're like, no, dude, we're paying like a lot of money for this place. Like, geez, but it was like we were like finding stuff on the street to build our furniture or whatever. And so he opens up and he says, oh, the first hemp store. And I'm like, well, what the hell is going on here? We got completely like nudged over. And he's like, well, yours not a real store. It's on the second floor. And I'm like, what does that ever have to do with anything? I go, we're registered at the Kamer van Koophandel, which is the Dutch like fucking tax department, basically, where you're fucking, once you're signed up and paying taxes, I'm like, dude, I'm a business. I don't know what you're fucking talking about. But it was like classic and then Hanfhaus, which is another one that opened up in Germany, they opened up like 10 shops, right? So it was like that moment in time where hemp was fucking hot, like 93, 94, 95. But the styles sucked. Like, they were just terrible. We would get, like, what are these things? You know what I mean? Like, we'd get this, like, clothes would come in, and we'd open them up, and I desperately tried to wear them, you know what I mean? And I was just like, dude, this is pathetic, dude. These look like it's like...
Who was producing those at that time? Was China making them, or like...
It was, well, the German guys, their idea was, don't put any color in anything. It has to be natural. And it was like, ugh, come on, guys. Like, this is like potato sacks, you know what I mean? Because the color was like, it did not, and everything was either that or white, you know what I mean? And it was just like, I don't wear
That's
white.
The Dutch fashion.
I wear black everything all my life. So for me, getting all this white hemp clothes was like, well, what's the point of this? So it was kind of like we didn't get forced into it, but we realized that we thought we could do better, and it was hard because fashion is a fucking tough one. So we're getting into it without knowing what we're doing, and the problem with hemp is that everybody was using it for the wrong things at that time. Like, like for pants, they were just a little too heavy, and for a shirt, it was like hanging really heavy too. So it was always just like finding the right combinations, and we just, fucking tried a lot of different ideas for a while. We had a store, we had our retail shop to sell stuff so we could kind of get some feedback, but it was all small runs. And then we had a friend of mine, Mark, who Benchavengo, who was living there also. He's from LA, and he had his own clothing line called Triple X, and his wife and him made all the patterns and stuff. So I was like, hey, oh, perfect. We got all this hemp. Let's fucking make a jacket. Like, and the funny part was that the jacket was like he was making jackets like little zip up, kind of West Coast style, no collar, zip up, racing stripes up and down, like kind of your classic. And so she made 2 jackets, one guy's and one ladies. And again, the hemp is fucking heavy, dude. Like, so we're working with material that's like twice as heavy as anything she's
ruining her machines, probably.
And, fucking up. It's impossible. Like, you basically break. Every time you give it to somebody, they're like, oh, I can do this, no problem. And then they come back and go like, dude, forget about it. You fucking broke. I had to go and buy a whole new machine. You know what I mean? We've had plenty of that kind of shit. But she made, so the guy's jacket and the girl's jacket were using all the same hardware, right? Same zippers and everything. So it was kind of like the shorter version was for the ladies. It wasn't quite there. It was like literally like cookie cutter to start with. It wasn't quite there, but then we started evolving. Every time we'd be like, oh, you know what you should have? You should have a little zipper here on the side. So when you're because it was like always you're riding on your bike. And if you have this big, giant, heavy jacket on, and it's like, like all of a sudden, it's like it doesn't want to move, So it was like a lot of learning curves. But the thing is that jacket all of a sudden started catching on. But we were making them in Turkish ateliers locally, riding around with fucking like on our bikes and with our fucking roll of hemp on your shoulder, and riding along and drop it off at this one guy, then go back and pick it up and bring it to that guy. And it was just like it was crazy because we were doing them like 100 at a time, maybe 100 per run, but it was kind of obvious that was the fucking item. It was like, oh, this is it. This is like but then we took it to China, and we had well, the hemp comes from China, Dave.
I know.
So there's no point of not going to China. Especially and that was the thing, is we had to battle with people over the reality that China was fucking way more advanced than we were. Like, people would be like, oh my God, made in China, it's piece of shit. You're like,
you get me wrong.
Dude, have you seen the factory? We can eat off the floor of the factory that we might get our jackets out of. They had lasers. They would basically fill every jacket up with air in a room and have lasers that could see if there was fucking perforations in them. I was like, dude, okay, this is high-tech shit.
Agree.
So,
it wasn't that. It was, my worry is that it's China, and they'll just
now
steal another
fucked.
Adam Dunn show idea.
We've seen it in Alibaba. It's already there.
Yeah.
It's already like hoodlums, Alibaba. I'm like,
what the fuck?
Of course. Oh. You made it when you're in Alibaba. That's how it really rolls.
And you get like 2 cents for every jacket sold.
But the whole point of the thing was just that, starting off in Amsterdam, doing hemp and being like fully immersed in the whole thing made it like the proper like stoner dream job, because you'd wake up in the morning and be like, what are we going to do now? I guess I'm going to make hash. And I'd be sitting there making hash going like, I don't think there's many people, because it was all dry sieve. This is before the pollinator came out and before the bubble bags came out. So I was like making hash in the shop while people would come in, and they'd be like, and I'd be explaining it to them. And then, it was like, there was that moment in time where I was like, it was funny too, because I remember I was taking all this laminating. I was like laminating hash, so using my laminator, and I would roll out the hash. And then I realized you could like make designs and kind of like it was like doing blotter or something. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this run, so I'll make these with this sticker in the top layer. You know what I mean? So I was creating backstage passes and all sorts of shit. But it was just like and I was like, you know what? I think I'm a hash artist, man. And it was just like, then years later, it became like a total thing. Like, oh, I'm a hash artist. I was like, fucking, I was doing.
Speaking of, we were speaking of nicotine earlier. Oh my.
There you go. No, but it was like I had a card. I had my cannabis consultant card, and I thought, man, I'm probably one of the only cannabis consultants out there in the world.
Cannabis consultant card.
Oh yeah, I had that one in '93. I was already had my card that said cannabis consultant.
Who issued a cannabis consultant card, or did you just make it up?
No, I made it up. I made it up, but at the time I was thinking like I was so fucking original, and then I was like, cannabis consultant. That's like fucking master grower now. It's like that's gone completely to the wayside. Like how many
Mega Chad.
Who's not a fucking cannabis consultant?
Mega Chad is
Mega
crazy.
Chad. Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't think so. I think as the pioneer,
well,
you
we're
get
allowed to still
claim
do it.
ownership of it. You know, I mean, people use the term OG. They don't even realize what they're really referring to. You know, is that you're an original gangster.
Whoa,
right?
Dave!
So,
look at you. That sounded so real.
Yeah,
so raw.
Yeah, he's angry and gangster right there for a second.
Yeah.
So for people who
I like
don't
how your
know,
face turns into the dog if you move the right direction. It kind of goes. Yeah. Just the face. Yeah,
That was perfect.
Oh,
That's
that was
cute.
great. No, it didn't work again.
magic.
Maybe magic.
And just for people who are watching who don't know my history with Dunn, so I've been I met Dunn in 14 or 13 at the
I think
Denver.
14. I think 14 it was.
So it gives us about 10 years together. I knew him as a radio show personality. because I was working with my first breeder at that
That was
point.
my 1 year into it. I was fresh.
Where was this meeting, James?
It was in Denver because I had flown out there for a show.
Not NoCo. I mean, Canacon or something.
No, I want to think it was the first Denver High Times bullshit.
Oh, we just
I
talked
remember
about
being
that last
outdoors.
week. Yeah, that was a crazy year too. 14 was like
13 was the year that we had fun.
14 was
Then
over.
14 they killed.
That was it. So it was the year that it was at the Denver Markt and it was outdoors and kind of a lot of bongs breaking.
And even if you got the year off, if it was 12 and 13 that were fun, and
because the first years were at the Indo Expo or whatever, and that was like across the street from my fucking spot.
when it was outside,
the first time
great.
it was good. The second, or I think was it 2 or 3 times there?
There were 3 times.
Oh,
the
and
first 2 were good.
The third was a complete and utter disaster. It was like
That's where I met you, was Indo Expo.
yeah, well, it was like the
Window was a great show, completely different.
well, the
I mean,
last one that they completely fucked up, under anticipated a lot of shit. Didn't have
Indo
enough-
Expo?
Didn't have any. No, at the Indo Expo place.
Indo Expo.
They didn't have.
They had
like at one point they were stacking trash cans. I remember like they had like a trash can full and they put another trash can on top of that one. That would get full. They just keep putting them on top of each other. I was like, who is doing this? It was like kind of like it was just like there was mayhem. People didn't know what they were doing.
It did feel like that.
And it was like, and then after, which was crazy, was like everybody evacuated the place like in a heartbeat and left like whole stands behind, right? And it was like, it looked like a war had gone down. It was like broken down stands, and it was just like, and then, but the Warren Edson went out there, and who's a lawyer out here, cannabis lawyer, and he walked around and he was finding slabs of hash, bags of joints. Like it was just like crazy because people had just like, fuck it. They left their booth. And if you looked in the booth, like, hey, what's this big giant slab of hash, back in the Shatter days. And it was just like, there was homeless people out there just fucking scoring big. It was like crazy. And they just left it behind. And that's when High Times got total, like, they got fucking railed about that, which they deserved it, and that was.
Oh, that's what they got railed about. Not what we talked about last week. How they were the California guys standing up there throwing pounds out.
I forgot about that.
You know what? The California guys just call them out. Just say dab stars. Just say fucking Johnny
Hey, no, come on.
I do it. I've done it. I've been across from that joker. Sorry, love you, Jonah. But I've been across from him at a fucking trade show before, and I go and move.
Jonah,
move.
he doesn't speak for us.
Okay. He's got nothing to give you, Dave.
I like Jonah.
Nothing to give you. You like Jonah? Well, anyways.
So anyway, yes, we met there, and then
my history with Jonah. So like 2014 Seattle High Times Cup with La Plata, and La Plata has a bag of like an ounce of CBD that he's brought to give this guy. And it was a Harley Sucross, and Jonah was doing all those fucking things and grabs this fucking ounce off La Plata's desk. He's like, hey, who wants a fucking ounce of weed? Yeah, and throws it.
Him and Dave should hang out together. That's a Dave move right there.
Yeah,
I would never give
grab a
someone's
bag
fucking
and throw
weed
it.
away.
Yes, you would.
I give your weed away to people, not anyone else's.
Yes, who?
All the time. All the time.
Okay, now you were talking about Adam, James.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2014, met him up with him, and then then figured out who he was because I was focused on U.S. breeders. He wasn't a U.S. breeder, of course. He was Amsterdam breeder, and so he wasn't in my view, so to say. The guy was my first breeder I was working with. Was stoked to be on a show. I think that's so we had went on a show the week before or something. So it took me like
we did so many shows together too that were like lost in the fucking into the ether of whereverness.
Because the kid saved them.
Because the
so
kid.
Since then,
we've
done all kinds of shows together. So we've done booths, we've done panels, we've done Alaska many times. I've had the privilege of going with Dunn and
the panels are fun. The panels are good. That was always like James had the whole system down. He comes in, he puts together the panel. He knows I'll do the moderating or whatever for the panel, because in the end of the day, half the people it was like, this is their first time ever on a panel talking English, So
and there's a reason why some breeders don't talk in public, right? Like there's a reason that I've learned that some breeders are better behind the scenes. Some breeders you don't want to put in front of people because they will fucking ruin your sales.
Oh, James, I would go with 99% of them should stay in the garden.
Well, this is why James.
No, I wouldn't go that far. There are a few. So a real funny one is Duke. Like he's a great show friend, right? So Duke was terrified.
Who?
He did not. Duke Diamond. Did not want to get in front of people. Was like, fuck you. I'm not talking to people. Like that's not my thing, dog. I'm not doing it. I'm like, all right.
And now look at
so
him. Now look at him.
And then Emerald Cup, maybe 2016, 17, we were supposed to do a panel, and they had us in the one room. And it was big for me to get all like 10, 12 breeders on this panel there at the same time during a Saturday during sales, right? Because everybody's at their booth fucking selling all the shit so they make all their money. But I'm like, guys, we're going to do this, but I need you to be at this fucking, at the hall to do this panel at like 4 p.m. So my guys are there. I've got Bog, I've got Crockett, I've got everybody there. And like, what the fuck's her name? Starts with an H. Hannah, Heather, Helen, the chick who throws Emerald Cup, the main.
Oh yeah. Hazel.
Hazel.
Yeah.
So Hazel
you're on
it.
You're close. You're close.
I'm looking for tables. I'm looking for shit and mics, and she's like, "Oh," I said, "Fuck you mean oh?" She's like, "We forgot. We didn't schedule it, plan it." I was like, "What do you mean you didn't schedule it, plan it?" She's like, "Well, we can try to get some shit." So all my guys are just like, "Fuck it, I'm going back to sell seats." So they're going right, and Duke kind of got left there by himself. And so we had these people coming to a panel. I'm out trying to figure out where this gear is to set up the shit up. The other breeders had left. And so Duke kind of, for the fact that he was just stuck there, got to host the whole panel by himself kind of for the people that were there. And not with a microphone, but just sitting on this edge of the stage, just talking to people. Like he would ask a question and he'd say something back. He would ask a question and he would say something back. And so that kind of broke Duke's cherry, so to say, to getting into public and talking, is because, I was like, why don't you go back to your booth, buddy? He was like, I couldn't leave you hanging, man. Like you were going to have a panel, there were people. So I just did my thing. I just sat there and talked to people. I was like, oh, well, fucking great. Really, really great. So that happened.
That's spectacular.
And the other fun.
I feel like that's the one that I saw. Was that here at the Indo Expo?
And the other.
No, that was Emerald Cup.
No, the funniest one I think was Alaska though. That was the funniest one because we did Anchorage and the panel was all there and I was like, okay, and we were at the booth and so Thunderfudge was supposed to come with us up to the thing, and somehow I thought Mateo, this is the first time I met Mateo, because he was hanging at the booth the whole time. I thought he was funny. Yeah, they're like, there's a vague.
Because I set up a panel.
They're about the same. They're about the same size, similar build, but totally different people. And so anyway, I dragged Mateo on stage with me, thinking that he was Thunderfudge. We could sit down.
This is funny.
And I remember looking over at Mateo, and he was kind of like, goofy and happy. And I was just like, okay. And then at a certain point, I see James walk in, and he's like, what the fuck? He's got the look on his face, like, what the hell? And it was like this whole like, wait a minute, like
this is hysterical.
I think he got
Mateo I had met like the day before, and he was going to come help me sell seeds that next day. Like I had no knowledge of the dude, couldn't trust him more than I could throw him right. Like
you can trust him. He just didn't know what he was doing. I took him on stage. I know. Come on, we got to go on stage. Let's go. And he's like, okay. And then it was hilarious though, because now that I know him so well, it all made sense because of the body language, the kind of like look of astonishment while he was on stage. Like, I can't believe I'm on stage. Was sitting here, and I was just like, huh? Like it all started to become clear once James came in, looked all confused, and I see him come in. I was like, oh, that's Thunderfudge. Okay, now it makes sense. Okay.
I was talking to the wrong guy.
What on earth? This is funny.
It was hilarious. It was a good one.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, you remind me to tell a story another time, but I have a story about someone wound up hanging out with them for hours and didn't realize we each thought they were a friend of the other person.
Oh, I always see it.
Could
That's
not
happened to me
understand,
before.
and we're backstage at a show, and it was.
How did
another
you
time.
guys handle that on stage in front of people?
Oh, I don't know. It was kind of it was just a little shuffle, and we got. But I remember then it was like, oh.
That's funny. He says I could tell by the shock on his face.
Well, he just had the look, yeah. Oh, yes, see Tom. There you
That's
go.
spectacular.
A few minutes.
Okay. But anyways, and then
Okay, so how did you met him through, you knew he was a radio show host. How did you find out that he was a breeder? Oh, no, we can't hear you.
oh, you're muted.
Because I do want to hear this.
Someone else in Mexico turned their
You
internet
muted
on.
yourself. Check your.
I don't think so. He's frozen.
Oh no.
So you tell that story then, Adam. We'll make him catch up to his own show.
Well, the thing is it's like many times where it takes a little. It's like onion layers, right? Because you got different. Like people don't really get. Cause sometimes I'll be talking about the hemp stuff, obviously, which is what I was passionate about, and then the seed stuff was always there and always as passionate, let's say. But it was weird because there was a moment in time where I really, and it should have, but. For me, clothing was worldwide, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the seeds were so isolated because I never shipped seeds out of Holland. I was always really like, dude, that's not my thing. No reason for it. I have a fucking store. I'm legal here. It's like, and so I was always
Get on a fucking plane and come buy them.
exactly. And so I didn't see I saw the potential of seeds, but I never thought that it would catch on to the point where like America would be where it's at now, because I had pretty much given up hope around 93 to 95 when I was there. It was like, there's no reason. It was like every time I come back to the States, I'm like, well, no reason to be here. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going back to where it's fucking.
Oh, but you weren't wrong.
And I would tell people this, like, I'm kind of like on an island now because I can't do this business anywhere else. You know what I mean? So it was like very much, which is funny because at the end of the day, clothing is fucking hard to make money. Seeds are a lot easier to make money. So the reality was the seeds kept the business afloat for the most part, because if we were just doing clothing, we probably would have went out of business. But if we were and with the seeds, it was like very seasonal, and the cup was always the big fucking moment in time when we were like, all right, get it all ready for that. Rest of the year, it was kind of like, a flow, but and the best part is that we had time for customers, so it'd be like a guy from Germany would roll in and be like, there's the one good fucking sale of the month, the rest of it, all the retail, maybe. Come on, James, get your shit together. What's going on?
Mark.
We lost all of our tech guys on our side, so it's all you now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here we'll just tangent for a second since we're talking about first-time meetings. Oh, well. Is he back? No?
Come on, James.
So my recollection is
reboot.
When I told the story of that night in Amsterdam meeting Jack, it was on the show, right?
Yes.
It was, you had no idea at that moment when I was telling that was me, and I had no idea that was you. That, I think, is one of the most amazing, holy shit, what a small fucking world this really is, because I've been telling that story forever. That night is one of the highlights of my life. I mean, everything about being in Amsterdam in 1990.
Yeah, that was
when it was super illegal here.
Exactly, and that was like you were at the right shop at the right time. Because Homegrown Fantasy was a totally unique place. Everywhere else had kind of like, we got Moroccan hash, and we got this, and we got that. Homegrown Fantasy only had their own weed that they grew, or their friends grew, and that was it. And the hash they made themselves.
And pictures of it in Katie.
Awesome.
You would open up a book, there'd be a picture of it. They'd actually sacrifice a bag and have it there, to show you the difference in size. Because Americans didn't know what a gram was. They needed to show it to you,
and then it would be a little bit squished after a while, especially the purple. Remember the purple weed?
Oh
yes, like kind of. They had like this super black purple weed.
Yes,
but
it went quick.
It was interesting, and then so that shop was like my spot, and I just moved there a year earlier, and then I was working at the hash. That's when I was working at the Hash Museum. Sensi, right? And that's before Sensi took over Neville stuff, and so they still had their old seeds, and it was kind of like it was a weird moment because the internet hadn't really taken off, so there really wasn't like
no internet, nothing. This is 1990. There was no internet. We didn't even have cell phones.
I mean, so the thing is, you still were kind of isolated on this little like you call your friends and be like, dude, it's real, dude, it's fucking real. They're like, no, because it was only like myth. It was almost like a myth at that point.
Yeah.
Like I still, you know, and my first time going there was. I was just in England, and I was like, dude, I can't get this close to fucking Amsterdam and not go to Amsterdam. And then my friend's house was in Hull, which is in northern England, and they have a ferry that goes directly from Hull to Rotterdam. So I was like, oh shit, that goes to, like, I could just go and get on, and I'm going. And I was like, I'll see you guys in a week.
Later.
And I'm back. You know what I mean? And so I took a ferry over, and it was just like crazy.
Well, now you made me think, how did I find Homegrown Fantasy? Because I got off the train as a 20-year-old, you know, with curly hair, and an American blonde chick, you know, a hippie chick, saw me, instantly knew she came right over.
For a youth hostel?
Yep.
The Flying Pig?
I don't know if it was the Flying Pig, but I definitely, it was $5 guilders a night, which was amazing.
$2.
You know, got a
$2.20.
bed and a lock to store my stuff in. There was a bar downstairs, and her name was Sunny, and we took a picture together.
Oh.
Wait, small world. Holy shit. I'm at a Dark Star Orchestra show years later at the Fox Theater, so it has to be like 2002, 2003, and she walks in, and I instantly see her and go, oh my gosh. I'm like, do you remember me at all? And she's just, you know, she has no idea.
Like, yes,
but as soon as I told her the story, she's like, oh my God. Our kids actually went to the same school in Boulder.
Oh, wow.
So small world
Fox
story.
is a tiny place in the middle,
in the middle of nowhere in a Dark Star show.
Wow,
you
that's
know.
cool.
So she took me to Homegrown Fantasy because she had been there, and that's how she earned her way. If you got the room, maybe it was 15 guilders. 5 is too, you know, and she got 5 for bringing me there, so the house would get 10.
Okay.
Flying Pig. I wonder if that was it. I'll ask
We don't care
him.
about flying pigs. We don't care.
Oh, James is back.
He's back.
Hi, James.
The voice of
Person back.
God.
Hello.
You're still not on video.
Voice of
We're
God.
having a technical moment, but Mark
Yeah.
will come back, or
That's
Vinnie
fine.
will.
He's probably doing it on
Yeah,
purpose.
We also see my other friend here has joined us, but yeah, I turned off my video and then had to reset my machine because it was full of all these trashy pictures I had made. So,
What other friend joined us?
well, he'll be here in a minute. He's unmuted right now.
Is that the guy that I'm pestering? Oh, I hear the laugh. That's it. Chicken beer, baby.
Is that you?
We were just talking about your first time speaking at Emerald Cup.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Popping your cherry.
Yeah, you popped your cherry.
No, I think wasn't it at Endo Expo?
That's where
I did,
I
like,
met you. That's what I thought you told. I feel like I remember you saying something
Oh,
about
James.
Wasn't it?
Chunky James.
Fucking
Well, I mean,
James.
and
there
also
was
that you
The
spoke
Endo
up.
Expo thing wasn't that big. I just took the microphone and pretended it was like a wiener while Dunn was talking, and made people uncomfortable.
No, it was spectacular.
So since nobody announced you, Duke Diamond in the house.
Yes.
Duke. We have to do our own sound
You
effects
all
now
know
because
whose
Vinny's
voice
Vinny's
selling
not here.
brisket.
Yeah, exactly. We got.
I'm
Oh.
so
He's
actually
happy to
running
hear
a
your
business.
voice.
Oh, good.
What should I roll up from this stuff here? Hang
Thank
on.
you,
Whatever, pick one.
James. We
All
can
right.
always count on you to have Duke come visit.
Yeah, I
It's
was
such a
telling him I
pleasure.
was busy. Like I was trying to get my shit together so I could go to like sketchy neighborhoods and go get candy from sketchy people so I could just like extract the drugs from them
Wow.
and then like resell them later.
That
yeah.
sounds like a business.
Oh, wow.
Thriving business.
That's a moneymaker right there.
Drugs away.
That's
this is a thing that are happen. This is a thing that's happening.
Every other house in Boulder is giving away either crack, meth, or weed.
Fentanyl. I'm not interested in
they
any
want
of
Fenties.
those kind of drugs.
We want the Fenty.
Yeah,
the Fenties.
Yeah, the Fent market's weird. So like,
Shut the fuck up. The Fent market's weird as crazy talk. I love you.
You gotta have.
Wait, do people just buy fentanyl?
Yeah, do people just? Yeah, of course, people just buy fentanyl.
I thought they just put it in
I
other
think it's
drugs.
Fentanyms they're gonna give out this.
Fentanyms.
Dave.
What? I figured they. All right. I don't know anything.
Dave, have you not gone to a city in the last few years, Dave?
I might have been there, but I wasn't paying attention.
They're like $2, and they smoke them on foils. It's like new age meets old school all in once. You got people freebasing off the foilies. Like it's like nostalgic and everything all at once.
Did you see that video that somebody like put the Thriller background on of the dude just fucking tweaking out, and it was so perfect. It was so on point. You were like, and then I asked Adam K last night, and he was like, oh yeah, I sent that to my mom. I'm like, you sent that to your mom?
Of course you did.
Mr. X?
Yeah.
Why didn't you send that to us if you've seen it? I haven't seen this. Yeah, no.
Why haven't I sent it? Because it was. I figured everyone's seen it.
No, you know what? To be honest, I didn't even really know about the hurricane.
It's because the arm behind when they're down, and then they got the arm up, and then they kind of do the old flip flop thing. That's like, it's perfect.
I've not seen it, but I'm thinking about how funny it will be to watch it.
It's perfect. It's
like I miss like just old school crackheads, man. Like that was.
Oh, Mark, please note the time of the ship's
Well,
log.
we were
This
talking
is
about the
old
other day.
school
They got
crackheads.
shit done, right? They got
shit done, and like if they wanted to hit you up and ask you for like a smoke or whatever, like dude usually had some type of trade that he could offer. Katie, you guys, that one of them there motherfucking hood lab.
I know the fact that he was talking about it. This thing kept me warm.
I wore the parka today.
Such quality.
It's literally a time period. Like it's hoodlum weather now. It's hoodlum weather. Once you take it out,
and I get so many compliments on it everywhere I wear it.
Oh yeah, they look good. They got a nice fit to them, and they got that durability feel to them. Like if you put a Carhartt. No, hold on. Let me take that back. An old school Carhartt, like when you could like really tear the shit out of that.
Yeah, now they're crap, dude. Now they're fucking garbage now.
Yeah,
it's just a way for somebody to
because they just pumping that shit out. And they don't give a fuck anymore.
It's Walmart brand now. Like back in the day where you had to like go find like a feed store or something like special to get it. Like those things
with proper liner.
I'm looking for some Carhartt overalls. If anybody has any, hit me up. Because that's
I got a used pair.
That's exactly what I'm looking for is a used pair.
Fresh Hemp's coming out with some next year.
You don't go to town very often. Come up. Let's all go to the hot springs. Because James, weren't you supposed to come soon?
No, I'm not going to no hot springs. You know what's in that water?
Yeah.
Besides bugs, bacteria.
Come on, he says I'm not going to. Okay.
It ain't nothing but sick people looking to get healed, like a Creflo Dollar fucking Magic Water commercial. It ain't nothing but that. And,
do you like a regular hot tub? Would you do a regular hot tub?
Probably not. Like,
oh my gosh.
Look, I've had to take a shower in prison.
I was gonna say, Katie, come on.
You know? Like,
so you're just not here.
You're triggering him.
I don't even fuck with swimming pools no more. You know, like. People are nasty.
I'm not going to let you shift this for me. People
when I went to visit him, I had to walk down the block to pee.
Gross. Yeah, and also you just feel so wonderful out there.
Just wanted you to know, I still am doing the takeover, but because of my bad
connection. Oh yes, so good. I love you,
Hi, James.
No, it's a Duke Diamond takeover now, dude.
I'm so grateful
Duke's got my back
for this.
because my connection's so shady. Duke's got my back.
Yeah, I'm just I'm
he's holding it down.
Oh, he's a filler now? No, I thought he was.
Yeah.
He's holding it down. He's got backup.
I'm the baby laxative or whatever to your cocaine.
No, not at all. He's making sure you guys don't move when I fucking take off camera. That's what happens.
You don't get the reference.
Come on,
Jesus Christ, Dave! Don't you try to act like some angel on a Friday?
What are you talking about, Duke? Explain yourself.
You're the
young
hamburger
man.
helper to his hamburger. How's that? There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the cranberry juice to the vodka. Hey,
That's
Like
perfect.
fucking
The
Jackie
soap
over
to the
here, huh?
rope.
Fucking Jackie.
Oh yeah, you should have been here for Jackie, dude. That
Oh.
Duke and
He's-
Jackie
I'm
together.
gonna text him.
Imagine Duke and Jackie.
Oh.
Duke and Jack, all of you.
Who is-
James is
is
great
Jackie?
too, and he keeps us
Ja-
on track. because we
Jackie
could-
Martling.
Jackie the Joke Man Martling, formerly of the Howard Stern Show.
Stern. Yeah, I grew
I
up
know, he
with
remembers him.
that dude.
He's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, he's been on the show a couple times. He's trying to get after
He's
Katie.
he's our
I
regular
don't
now.
think he's trying to get after Kate.
Oh.
He's
Whoa,
funny.
whoa. Are you for
whoa.
real?
You know what? The whole world's in love with me, and I feel it. This is the first
Let
time
you
in my
do.
entire life I feel it. So you might be.
I'll
Right.
tell Jackie Martling that I will give him tips on how to woo
Katie?
Colorado natives. Yeah, well, I mean, it's
Sign
hard.
up for that.
Feather
it's
earrings.
hard.
Is that what you're saying?
You all
Feather
are
earrings
so
and
special to
fur
me.
boots.
No,
boots.
nobody
Fur
better
boots.
show up in feather earrings and fur boots. That's a hard pass for me. No.
That's the line?
Yeah, there's a lot of lines out here being single, and that's
Well-
one of them. If you show up in fur boots, that's interesting.
It's Han Solo season and time for the return of the pumpkin spice. So, it's
There's
that
a pumpkin
time.
sauce
of year,
that type time. Yeah.
Bitches be out with that. Yeah, they out
You
there
guys
with
are so
their
great.
with their little blasters. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, shout out to
I'm sorry,
iRock and
James,
Solo
you're
Burger.
so wonderful. Thanks for letting
Back on
me
takeover.
hijack it.
Back on cue, guys. Come on. Well, I got a connection here.
We're here for a
He's,
show.
he's, he's taking over.
Now.
You got a
Adam.
plan or some shit? That's what you're
No, I'm
doing?
just trying to keep on track. They're going to cut me off. I'm trying to get this shit undone.
Oh,
So
it never works for this. We try
It
this every
doesn't.
time.
This is what we
This
do.
is what happens. We get sidetracked, and Dave interrupts us and does something.
Yeah, that's what Dave does.
Dave fucks up the whole
Fucking Dave
flow.
fucks
the whole flow.
And
We're
then
fucking
James's
rolling
connection
joints.
goes
I'll
bad.
start smoking hash,
And then I
it's
go
all
back and I
good.
start
That
giving
was
him
I.
Wheels come
I,
off.
I provided the
We
perfect
want to
fill.
provide a great show, though, and that's why James is here. James,
and then I
I
jibber
love you.
jabber about
I-
something. that-
So we're
gonna
back
stay
on.
on.
We're back on track. Now,
Chicken
Dunn,
beer.
you obviously have a huge legacy with THCs. Right?
I like the pause. You obviously have a huge,
huge
penis.
and you bred the hog.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Big blue vein.
Yes, I know. So let's take a little walk down memory lane. So strains like bubblegum, sage,
Soundtracks.
MK Ultra. Which do you feel really defined that era for you? Like, back in,
I mean sage, obviously, because thing is, it was like hazy. I always considered anything that had that kind of haze sort of leaning plants were like adult weed, right? And then all the other shit was like for kids. And so I was like, hey, look at this. And so when you smoked with older, and I like to smoke with older people when I was in Amsterdam because I was in my 20s. And so my whole thing was, yes, cheese
I'm
freak.
saying this is what you're
Yes,
smoking.
Oh, okay, there we go. Thank you, Dave.
thanks, Dave. We didn't fucking interrupt him.
Very mature of you, Dave.
I'm showing it to Katie.
This is like when you're driving and people want to show you shit while you're like going into the corner.
this
You're like,
picture.
dude, I'm about to go into a hard corner. Why are you
I
fucking
didn't know you
showing
were
me this?
professional.
Dude, look at this.
You're on my
thing.
roll.
me.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
But
Back to
but the sage,
you're
but
supposed to hit the corner and strategically hit certain bumps.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
When they're taking a drink, that's always the bad. A little acceleration right at
it's
that
like-
moment.
Yeah, a drink.
The waiter waits for you to
Face-
take a bite of
face
your
plant.
food. How are you liking that?
So yeah,
Talking
sage.
about roadhead tech over here, bro.
And the
I'm
thing
talking
about
taking a drink.
Amsterdam was if you're there to get really high, then you're going to smoke hazes. You know what I mean? If you're there just to kind of run around and smoke power plant and all this other crap that people were smoking, it was all just like, just like the floral fucking candy bullshit that now that you're like, it doesn't really do it.
But weren't most people over there for fine art and prostitutes? So let's keep it real.
No, they
Like-
weren't buying any art.
Nobody's.
No, I
buying
think a lot of people that were coming over there were real heads. People that had money and that would buy a plane ticket to go over there and buy seats. Like
That's
that's
what
how
it feels
Dunn
like.
met everybody.
Yeah, and the
Their
thing
tour.
is, it was less volume but higher quality. Of there was people that came in, and it was cool. When I was working at Sensi, if I think back now, I'm like, fuck, I wish I'd paid more attention to some of these people because it was like you could just tell. Like, guy would walk in and he'd be like, kind of like asking you just all the right questions. And he'd pick out the fucking fire because you knew, he's like, okay, this guy knows what he fucking wants. And then all of a sudden they'd open up their little fanny pack and have like a stack, like 10 grand, and be like, oh, this guy. And so it was like, people, it was worth it. You'd fly over, you'd load up, you go home, and you'd be fucking set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was, there was times like, especially that there was like certain varieties, like the super skunk that we were selling at that time was really good. Like you could just tell, like as you were handing the pack, you could feel like this guy's gonna crush it right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there'd be
You really dated yourself, really. You're like, yeah, homeboy goes into his fanny pack for a lot of money. Like
100%. You know it though. That back then, that was it. They had this little secret fanny pack that they'd pull out.
Yeah, get that.
Now, this is still back in the day when you really didn't. There was no credit card transactions happening. You had
cash.
Cash.
It was all cash.
So
it was crazy because we would have like $20,000 days, $30,000 days there. Just like it was like it was. That's why I was like, I think I should start doing this because this is like crazy. And the difference was though also that the whole reason I got my job at Sensi was because they're so bad at sales. Like the people there were just so like, you buy it and you smoke it, you know it. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? That's not how you sell stuff. Like it was so much. It was like, no, these people want, because the whole thing is if you come over to Amsterdam, spend $10,000, you kind of want to feel like the guy that's selling it to you either cares about what he's doing or fucking knows what he's talking about. Because if you go there like and the guy's asking the most basic questions and people would just like freeze up because the language wasn't there and the knowledge wasn't there. You know what I mean? I was just like, God, you guys are terrible salespeople.
I literally thought that was.
Grow it, you'll know it is the only thing this guy would say. Grow it, you'll know it. I'm like, that sounds like a threat almost. You know what I mean? Like, grow it and you'll find out it's full of herms and terrible.
Well, I think that's what differentiated you probably back in the day from anybody else who was selling seeds, because nobody had ever actually grown out any of the seeds they were ever selling, so they couldn't give an opinion.
They had like
on
this
anything.
really terrible grow in the middle of
the more things stay the same.
In the middle of the Hash Museum, they had this like glass box that was about 3.5 feet tall, maybe 4 feet tall, and they had two 600 watts inside of it. It was glass on all sides, so you could like stare at the plants and basically watch them suffer, because it was like, dude, this thing is so hot in here. They were like shooting up and hitting the lights, and I was like, the first thing I did when I got there, I was like, can I kill all these things and start over again, because this is like embarrassing. You know what I mean? People would come in and of course any real grower would walk in and be like, I think your plants need a little TLC back there, and you'd be like, no. No, they're fine. They just 1,200 watts over 3 little plants that are,
what could go wrong
in a 1 gallon pot or something. It was sad. But then they finally built it a little bit better and built a whole new grow, which was. I think there's a weird thing though when you have public plants, like people looking at it like a zoo. The plants don't thrive. Like they do not like it. You know what I mean? They're just like, dude, what the fuck are all these people? Because it's weird. Because normally it's one person. You know what I mean? Like you come in the room, they get all happy. Hey, he's here. He's gonna feed us. Great. You know what I mean? Like, but when there's like 100 people a day just staring at them, like watching them, like be thirsty.
Me.
They're thirsty as fuck, and you're like, because I'm sure the plants sense all that, right?
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that for sure.
So when you were developing, say, Sage, what was the most surprising thing that happened to you? Any behind the scenes like stories or that people might not have heard, or?
I mean, well, Sage. Okay, so Sage is Mojave's sort of brought all those genetics. So Mojave Richmond, who's Rob Clark's partner now, was
like a brother to you growing up.
Yeah, it was like my best friend growing up, and he was the guy that I called when I figured out that Amsterdam was real. Like I got there, I called him like the second day I was there, like, dude, it's fucking real. You can buy weed in the shop.
It's like the guy from Ohio saying it's real.
Exactly. And then within like 6 months, I think 6 months later, his truck got stolen with all his tools in it, and he was like, well, there goes my livelihood, like, fuck it, I guess I'm going to Amsterdam. And he just got on, he like came over, but he brought, and then before he came, I said, bring some of your brother's seeds, because his brother was growing up in Big Sur forever. So Mo's family was classic. It was like his mom was selling weed, then all the kids were selling weed, the brother was growing the weed, and it was like
family business.
They lived in LA, brother lived up in Big Sur, you know, and it was like the first weed that I brought back to the East Coast, where I was just like, check this out, and people were like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? It was like amazing. So I always knew they had good weed, but they didn't really have any, like, they weren't calling it sage. They were just, I mean, Big Sur Holy was kind of like all the weed from that area. They just kind of call it that, but internally it was all just like, they had the first sort of cups there and stuff too. So it was like people would rate the weed just A, AA, and AAA. That was it. You know what I mean? So it was like your, you know, first, second, third class or whatever. And so I just said, just bring all the AAA seeds you can. And he brought like a couple hundred or something, and he grew them all in his backyard. And Mo had this backyard, which was like, in Holland, if you got more than 6 hours of light, you'd be fucking lucky, right? Because A, there is no light. Even in the summertime, it's pretty fucking bleak sometimes. But then on top of that, you got these like courtyards in the back, so it's like a buildings all around the whole street, and in the middle, it's all communal space. And so Mo was just like fucking just going for it, dude. He had like hundreds of plants in his backyard, and the neighbors were like, the whole thing about Amsterdam is everybody can see what the fuck you're doing, so you gotta like test the waters, and if they're cool, like, you know, my neighbor next door to me was like thumbs up when he saw my plants. So I'm like, all right, I think I'm onto something. This is cool. As long as your neighbors are good, you're fine. If you have one shitty neighbor though, you're fucked, because they also will rip you off in a heartbeat there, because everybody knows, like, they're watching you work every day on your plants, and they're like, we're gonna harvest it tomorrow, and then you're gonna harvest it on Thursday. They come on Wednesday and scoop it up somehow magically, you know what I mean? So it was a really hard place, but somehow Mo had this little haven where he could just go get away with it. He was already there. So the first year he didn't even grow the first year the seeds he brought. He kind of like, we were too excited about other stuff, you know, and didn't really think out the gate, like, you know, we should do it. Then the second year, when he kind of had a little bit more experience, we put them out, or he put them out, I should say. And we were just doing testing later in the year, because he took a couple of them inside, since they weren't, he had a really cool little shed that he had built, which was like, considering the time frame, and he was super secret with it. Like, neighbors, they saw him growing there, but nobody, the way he had it designed, you could get into the entranceway without people seeing him, and he kept it super
Dutch doors.
Kept it
Nice.
super stealth. And he had this, it was the sage that we ended up using was like, everything was just labeled S1 through 10 or 12 or whatever, and S6 was the winner, right? And the S6 was the worst of all of them, as far as, like, it was like the fucking Skittles of the fucking sage world, you know what I mean? Because it was the shittiest looking plant, but it had the most fucking oomph to it, you know what I mean? And so it was like, and we kept going, we kept smoking it and thinking, it's kind of like white sage flavor or something, you know? And Big Sur is all white sage, like the whole area. So it was kind of like, we were like, tastes like Big Sur. This is weird. Like, it was like we were tripping out on it. And so then Mo calls me, like, because we were still kind of like we're not seeing the most obvious thing in front of us, because we go, dude, it's kind of sagey. Like, what should we call this? I don't even, like, we should come up with a name for this sagey thing, you know what I mean? And then Mo literally kind of woke, like, he was falling asleep, and as you're falling asleep is when you have your best fucking ideas, right? It's like literally the time when you're like, oh, dude, and then you forget about it in the morning. But it was like, so he calls me, and he's like, and this is like we don't even have cell phones at this point, because this is like 92 or something like that. And so it was like, calls me on the house phone, like, what the fuck? Okay, hey. He's like, dude, write this down. Sativa, Afghani, genetic, equilibrium, and I'm like, all right, I write it down, and then he passes out, and then the next day he calls me, you wrote that down, right? And I'm like, yeah, I hear it. And he's like, dude, that's it. That's the acronym. That's what we're going to call it. And then it was just funny because then Rob Clark, who's now his partner, back in the day, was like, we were the young, fresh kids, and we had this plant that he when he smoked it the first time, he was like, whoa, that's like a haze that I haven't seen yet. And so he liked it. And then Dave Watson liked it, which is really hard because Dave Watson's like the most difficult person when it came to like trying to impress. You could never impress him. It didn't matter what anything you brought, he'd be like, that's this time, I had that already or whatever. And this time, because Dave's from Santa Cruz originally, and so we're talking Santa Cruz, Big Sur, it's the fucking same place basically. And so he recognized the same thing we recognize, which it tastes like fucking Big Sur. It was like, yeah, that's crazy. Like he picked up on that. So at the end of the day, that was like the thing. What's that fake picture of me?
Yeah, I have some old photos I'll be playing here. Just don't mind me in the background. I'll be
some
playing
AI version of me? What's that?
No, that
These
was
are pictures of you in Amsterdam back
that
in the
is
day.
Drunken
not me.
Dunn.
I never had a brown fucking thing or wore jeans.
During his backpacking days.
His
James, are you
backpacking
doctoring
days is
photos?
funny.
No, I had not at all. I'm just letting you know. These are just some. I made some calls, dug some photos up for this reminiscence.
Pulled
but,
them off
yeah,
some
Security footage.
security footage from
I never wore jeans.
Not like that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not like that.
I actually.
Those are like the ones that would have the fucking the flap on the back pocket with a more
Designer Jordan.
Those are the
worst.
worst. Those are the worst.
That's
Anytime I
stage
see a
four.
flap on the back pocket,
Yeah, dude.
forget about
What
it.
do you need
Don't
that for?
be distracted by these old pictures. Just talk about food.
What do you?
I figured Dunn would be in like a pair of Jinkos or like.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe like.
I had my own version. I did my own version.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, would you get like some extra large size Wranglers or something?
No, I made them. I made my own. We had our own. So I was basically doing the classic where I was like, bigger. You got to make them bigger. And they were like, bigger. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, make them bigger. So because I was like on that same. I was definitely on that tip for the longest time. But yeah, I think I can find a photo. of it.
Find a picture of this.
Find the one where you're dressed up like an astronaut.
Oh, this is a really bad version of me there. That's terrible.
I was done his early years.
That looks like that looks more like.
Are
what's his
these
name?
these are
That
AI?
looks like-
No.
These are early years of Dunn back. We was a little heavier. We talked
Yeah.
about him being fatter earlier, right?
Yes, we did.
This is
That's
wild.
what that
Katie,
means.
why would you think Adam standing with a hippopotamus in a bubble would
Oh,
be
I was
AI
just looking at
generated?
that.
That's totally you know
Okay,
that really
sorry,
happened. You know it.
Duh.
No, Adam would say, I would never wear a shirt like that. Dude, ignore the hippo in the bubble.
I did wear a shirt like that once.
Oh,
I did wear a
until
shirt
you-
like that once, only once.
Yeah.
That's you,
All right,
Mark.
so
Yeah, what's up, dude? I didn't even know you're on the line.
Oh, what? You're
Oh,
not paying
I'm
attention to
not.
the
Because
show?
you weren't here.
Well, I was across the street over there eating some brisket.
Briskets.
Huh.
you
Well,
guys
hi,
done
Ma.
making- you guys done making friends?
Welcome back.
Wow.
No, I'm not done.
Wow,
actually.
James.
All right. What part of the '90s seed scene would shock and even disappoint some of today's Instagram breeders?
Reword that.
Yeah, say it again.
Say it again.
What part
you
of the
please
90s
repeat?
seed scene would shock or even disappoint today's Instagram era breeders the most?
Oh, disappoint?
Correct.
That's an interesting thing to think about. I mean, really, Instagram.
The buckets.
This
All
Instagram.
about the buckets. The
Which bu-
buckets of the seed.
Oh, what? Just big buckets of seeds?
Buckets of random seeds for the Yanks.
I mean,
It's okay.
I would say. I mean, the not so much the seed scene is like the problem is that there really was hardly anybody producing seeds there that were like it was like 4 or 5 people would be doing everybody's work, right? So there was a moment in time where like
That's a big disappointment then.
yeah,
I mean,
like and it's happening now in America too. How many seed companies are there? How many people really produce their own seeds all the time? Not that there's a lot that don't. There's a lot of but over there it was like you got companies like there was a company called Yaya, right? Which is JAJ. They were like the biggest wholesale company, right? Because they did like pipes and fucking. They had like the huge catalog with 5,000 different stupid Pyrex pipes and bullshit things like that for head shops. But then they had their seeds, and the seeds that they would sell, you would see everybody reselling them, and nobody people would not even be creative about it. They just have the same exact list with a different title on it, and they sell them at every head shop. And those were like so janky, you know what I mean? Because it was like Dutch guys who didn't give a fuck. They just thought of Americans. There you go. That's real.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Somebody asked about his spacesuit.
Astronaut with a big
Astronaut.
Yeah, big. It's very, very
Oh yeah.
fresh from space.
Carry on. Don't be distracted.
Some kind of bubblegum thing?
I love it.
But you got to pull out Dave's. You got to pull out Dave's DJ gig because that's the best.
You're DJing too, buddy. Don't worry about
Am I? Oh, am I?
Are you?
Oh,
Yes.
Nice.
So
I would say the lack of, like the fact that so many people got burned coming to Amsterdam, buying seeds from, like, that's why it was like you saw like there really was only like Sensi, us, eventually Dutch Passion, and a DNA 10 years later or whatever, but there was all the rest was like pretty much the same one company producing a bunch of fucking bulk seeds and everybody putting their stupid names on them and buying those little paper fucking like pre-printed paper things, which and it was just like sitting, and you knew that the guys who sold the seeds didn't give a fuck. It was just like the mushroom shops later that be like, yeah, you should take like you should take twice as much as you, like, instead of us going like, no, dude, you should probably split that amongst you, because I don't want to, I'm thinking at it from the guys like, no, I would take two, just because they're just trying to make sales, and that's the shitty part about the seed industry is also the fact that once you see somebody's brain like go, wait a minute, I could just take somebody is asking for a certain seed. Here it is, you know what I mean? Because they don't care, because they're not going to see you later, which is that's where I think the Instagram world has changed that, in the sense that there's, now you will get pushback. People will show you, you know what I mean? Back is like the chances of them flying back to Amsterdam to complain about a pack of seeds that they fucking. Right. So that's how Dutch guys treated it. Americans were like, we were like the fucking cash cow back in the day, for sure.
So during those early Amsterdam days, what was one breeder or grower that everybody underestimated, that you knew were kind of ahead of their time? Was there anybody back there that was doing any legit shit, or?
I mean, it was like a lot of one-hit wonder shit. Like Paradise Seeds had their kind of one-hit wonder there with. Oh, no, I can't.
Kind of like Duke said earlier, some things change, a lot of things stay the same. There's a lot of one-hit wonders in today's breeders as well.
I don't know about under. I mean, I'd say the opposite, where people fucking put too much credence into unproven shit. You know what I mean? There was like a lot of Dutch growers were strictly growing on size and smell. That was all they really cared about. They did not care about taste, and they did not care about effect, because they want people to smoke more weed, not less weed. You know what I mean? So you'd be like, oh, here, try this. Oh, it's too strong. And I'd be like, what? Like, no, there's no such.
Okay, Nancy. Well, we'll get you some more tobacco to cut it with.
And that is the problem, is that they were mostly smoking with tobacco. So that didn't help. Let's try that one.
Well, what's one myth about your work that people that are about the whole Amsterdam Golden Age that you wish people would stop repeating?
Really weird questions. You are the weirdest question guy.
You a bunch of times in your interviewer, right? So I can't you're just like, what was bubblegum about?
I know. No, it's.
I appreciate this, James.
One more time. Gotta say one more time.
So what's one myth about your work or about the whole Amsterdam Golden Age that you wish people would stop repeating?
Well, I mean, my biggest problem over the years was that anytime I had something that was a hit or something, it would be like immediately someone would try to like change the story or whatever. Like, people always get confused. Like bubblegum, for instance, is a classic. Bubblegum's probably the most confusing story, where it got the problem is that with those seeds, so Victor, who owned the gray area, and when it first opened up, was the guy who brought the seeds over, right? So he had been collecting seeds, and he had moved to Amsterdam, and I met him at the Hash Museum, and I pretty much realized, like, and he had like $20,000 in his pocket, which is a fucking shitload of money back in the day, and now, but shitload of money to have in cash in your and he like pulls it out, and I'm into not even in a fanny pack, in his pocket, which is even worse.
Dang,
In his pocket, right?
Lot
like,
in a pocket.
He like he pulls out this humongous wad. He goes, and I was like, dude, put that away. Like, I was like so nervous for him because we were at the front of the Hash Museum, which is just full of junkies and weirdos. And so I'm like, dude, put that the fucking away. What are you doing? And he's like, like, just came in from Rhode Island. And I grew up in Rhode Island, so when I hear the accent, it kind of like triggers me a little bit. It gets me, yeah, it kind of triggers me. Exactly, and it was like, but he had more like the gangster Rhode Island accent, hey, a real scratchy voice. Anyway, so I was like, dude, right away, my brain goes, you need to come with me. You got $20,000 in your pocket. I need some help, right? So he ended up. He was a contractor by trade, and he wanted to learn how to grow weed. And I was like, well, dude, I'm building a grow room I'm trying to build a grow room at my place. Why don't you come help me out? And he just fucking took it to the next level, came over and just went to town and fucking built me like the perfect little secret room in I had like a 1-bedroom apartment, and somehow we managed to put a 4-lighter in there. And it was just I only had 16 amps of power. And so I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, I had to figure out how to wire it properly. And he just kind of came in, got it all perfect for me. And, but the shitty part is that like he gave me the seeds. We started growing them, and he busted a tooth he was building an irrigation system, and he was like pulling on some fucking tube with his mouth and fucking broke off a tooth. Right. And so he's like, I got to go home and take care of this. So he flew back to America, and while he was gone, because he was gone for months at that point because he had to go deal with it all. And so I pretty much grew the first crop out and selected 7 plants from the first round. And then when he flew back, literally, I went to the to the train station to pick him up, and then I drove back. And I had this other kid, Bucky, in the car with me and him. And we walk up to the apartment, and my door's off the hinges. And I walk out, like, what the fuck is going on here? And I walk in my house. There's nothing missing except I go in the grow room. All the plants are gone. And the fucking pH meter and the light bulbs. I was like, the fuck is going on here? Like, it was like weird as fuck, right? And all of a sudden Victor's like, and he comes in, what? Like, I was like, dude, it just like, I swear to God, it was here an hour ago. Like, I just went to the fucking thing and came back. So it was kind of a crazy espionage job. So I ended up having one plant because they didn't take all the they took a tray of clones that I had. They took all the plants that were flowering and killed all my moms, right? And cut them all down and left the pots. And so there was like one lower fucking node left on one plant that they didn't cut down low enough. And so that one I could re-veg, and that was the number 3. And at that time I was classifying everything just by size. So I grew a bunch out, and then I selected 7, and then I went like number 1 is the smallest and number 7 is the biggest. And the number 7 was big, but it didn't really have much terps. It was kind of like overblown out. And then the 1 was like tiny and super resinous, but kind of like terrible structure. It had like kind of just like glands on glands, but not real, or just very bulbous and weird. And then the number 3, which is the one that I ended up saving, was actually the best one anyway. I was like, dude, they fucking like perfect. You know what I mean? So, and that's the one that I gave when I got a clone of that. When I got it to be able to clonable, I gave Tony and Simon together because they were working together, right? Which was Sirius seeds and Sagar Mother seeds eventually, right? But in the beginning, they were called cerebral seeds, and so they made that's like when the Cali Mist cut made and AK-47 and everything was kind of like in that time period. Except then Simon realized he wanted to do his own thing, and Tony decided to do his own thing, and they separated in but I gave them a clone together. They both did it. So Tony made Bubbleberry, which was his best fucking thing he ever made, probably. And then Simon, which this is what fucked my whole program up, was instead of calling it like Serious Bubblegum or Simon's Bubblegum or anything else but just Bubblegum, he just called it Bubblegum. And I'm like, dude, like, you know, you're kind of stepping on my shit now. And it got so confusing that over the years, like there was one time when a German magazine did a really cool side-by-side where they took a pack of ours and a pack of his and grew them together and did all the fucking analysis down to the, you know, very German style, down to the fucking gram, the amount of fucking light it got, the food it got, the time. It was like, tick, 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 did everything perfect. And it was really obvious because what Simon did was, Simon was really into sativa-style plants and like big fucking chunkers, like, you know, like that's why Cali and all his varieties were a little bit more fruitier and a little more sativa leaning. And then I was going on the indica side more, so you could really see it on that side by side where it was like, okay, that's fucking short and fucking resinous, and his is big and resinous. So, but that kind of fucked up the whole program too. So over the years, then to add even more confusion was the fact that I had, like, when Victor had given me those seeds and we started growing them out, he said to me, Indiana. Like, he got these from a guy from Indiana that moved to Rhode Island, and it was still growing weed that he had made these, that he had brought with him, but it got some seeds every so often, and Victor was buying ounces off this guy all the time, and he'd get a seed here and a seed there, and he just kept collecting them. And so I wrote that into the description. I said, from Indiana, made its way to New England, and then eventually to Amsterdam, right? And then, so that goes out in catalogs, and that goes out, you know, to the world or whatever. And then years later, when like 15 years later, I'm talking to Victor, and I'm like saying about Indiana, and he's looking at me all confused. He's like, "Oh no, those are from Illinois," right? And I go, Illinois. I mean, they're right next to each other, but still, it was like, oh, I'm pretty sure you said Indiana, right? You know, and he's like, nah, I might have said that because I didn't want to say where he's really from or something like that. It was like classic. And so what's funny is that guys from Indiana, there was a guy named Red who we had on the show, who's a friend of Rob Clark's, and he basically, he came to me one day at the Cup and was like, hey man, I just want to say thanks for putting us on the map. And for putting us on the map, and I was like, oh yeah, no problem. And it was like, from that point on, it was confusion because you have the Indiana bubblegum, you have my bubblegum, you have Simon's bubblegum. Now we got, you know, now it's, and so then the stories, like classic one was Matt Riot was convinced that I got a clone of bubblegum from Indiana, and that I just ran with the ball or whatever. And I'm just like, no, dude, wrong again. But at the same time, it was like, that's how that's, you know, that story just got worse and worse to the point where it was like, I'm getting zero credit. I don't, you know what I mean, at all, even though it's like, it wasn't even called, but like, so Victor gave it to me and called it chewing gum. Right, because he would stick it under the bar at his. He worked at. He had his own bar in Rhode Island, and he would stick weed under the bar, and just wait for people to talk about it. Like, hey, dude, you smell that? Fucking, what's going on? And then he'd be like, he thought it was like, this is like classic, old school, 80s 90s mentality of, if you ask somebody if they're a cop, and they say no, you're in the clear, dude. You're good. he can't lie.
No, that's totally legal.
Cops can't lie. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? And so he would do that. He would use that as his little, like, an angle. He'd be like, are you a cop? And they'd be like, no. And he'd be like, all right. And he'd pull out the weed, and they'd be like, oh, dude, I need weed, or whatever. So it was like, and I was like, chewing gum, that doesn't really sound tasty. It tastes like, sounds like something stuck under your fucking desk, right? Like, that is not, I get it. Now I get it. It could be a cool name. But then I was like, let's call it bubblegum. So I was like, putting that out there, like I fucking made up the name and did it, thinking it's all original. Even though, of course, in my mind, I'm like, there's plenty of people out there who have had weed that smelled like bubblegum, and probably somebody's called their weed. I'm not thinking it was the most original idea in the world, but in Amsterdam, putting it out there as a real product and kind of getting the traction, it was like, and it got because it got so much attention is why we got our place ripped off, I'm pretty sure, because it wasn't like some random. Nobody goes in and steals a clones, kills moms, and steals a light bulb and a pH meter unless they're trying to fucking seriously sabotage your shit. You know what I mean? And people were
They were probably just looking out for the children.
Well, there was people offering us.
Gotta protect the babies.
There was people already offering us money for it.
Bubblegum, obviously, you're trying to market it to our youth.
Babes.
Yep. You hit it right on the perfect.
But then it was funny because then years later, when I was complaining about all these everybody naming everything after candy, I was like, God, this is so unoriginal. Who the fuck? Wait a minute. And then I was like, oh fuck, I kind of did that though, didn't I? I kind of did that back in the day.
At least you didn't name your shit after a trademark brand.
Well, no, we tried to get it trademarked, and the problem was that they ruled it down because they said it was too general, like it didn't have enough and then we're like, well, and then Simon got it trademarked, and I was like, what the fuck, how did he get? Yes, he got it after we got denied like multiple times. We got MK Ultra, which was funny, so I was like, okay, so I can have MK Ultra, but I can't have bubblegum. That's kind of weird.
That's crazy, dude. Because I would have figured, like, they couldn't, like, patent or trademark some general-ass shit like that, you know? But that's wild. Because on the other hand, you had, Cincy had Juicy Fruit. And then they, hit them up, and then they had to change it to Fruity Juice, right?
Exactly.
We were just recently talking about, isn't that why you had to change the name of Lambo?
Same with Rambo. I got a cease and desist from Universal for. I thought that was exciting when I got
for Rambo.
I was like, oh. So we called it Lambo after that.
First blood.
Yeah. Who grew first bud was that.
Bud in, bud out.
All right, so my watcher is telling me Mark's gonna start crying at me here in a minute, so we gotta move on.
Wow.
I gotta do some quick fire questions, and then we're gonna get into the freak show. All right.
Quick fire.
And if you do good at the quick fire questions, there's a bonus.
Really?
I can't do quick fire.
He can be quick? Oh, okay.
No, he doesn't get the bonus round, and we all want the bonus round.
Mark, start the clock.
No,
Get ready.
yes, no.
What's the first thing that put TH Seeds on the map and the story behind the name?
Oh my God.
Boulder Wellness, go.
Basically, when we opened up CIA, we had Sensi, Nirvana, Dutch Passion, our own seeds, and one or two other like independent guys. And so there was a moment in time where I was like, oh, dude, I have the biggest seed bank in the world. Like at that point we were, because there was everybody else was there was no Mark Emery yet. Then he got into the game, and then it was over. Once Canada stepped it up, I was like, okay, we are not the biggest seed bank in the world anymore. But the TH Seeds name was obviously thinking too deep about it, because it kind of fucked me up, because there was another, speaking of Canada, they registered THC seeds, right? And then all of a sudden everybody thought they're getting our seeds, and they were getting them from them, and I'm sure that place just made buku money off of us, because nobody could remember, like it was too heady when you say TH seeds. They're like THC seeds, right? And it's like, so the name was, but it was the headquarters. We were calling it the headquarters, right? Because that was our spot. So it was the headquarters seed, basically, is the kind of the background of it. But we never really pushed that, we just kind of went for the tongue-in-cheek THC.
Which TH Seeds project almost never happened, but ended up defining the brand? Like, which project did you do, but I was like, almost didn't scratch it. It ended up doing well.
I like how you're like, you know these answers with that, and I don't even know them. I'm like, what? What is he talking about?
It's good. We interviewed a bunch.
With THC.
Teach new tricks to an old whore.
I mean,
Did you just call Adam an old
There's
whore?
been a lot of projects, which obviously the thing about breeding in general is it's like breeding dogs or something like that. You can't come up with the product. You can't come up with the whole thing until you've actually got the product in front of you to figure it out, unless you're trying to go for the name game and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? So, there's been so many fucking dead end projects that didn't happen. And I mean, the thing is, like, most of it is all NDA related shit where you're like, I can't even say it, because if I say it, then it really could never happen. But,
they all expired.
My biggest thing was the whole feminization of plants. I didn't agree with it at all, and that was kind of like, I wouldn't say it was a different direction, and that's where me and my partner Doug back in the day always disagreed, because Doug was on a salesperson and I was more on the breeding side. So it was kind of like, I don't want to dumb people down and sell them fucking just feminized seeds, because then they're going to get super lazy, and so that's kind of
Doug was like, fuck, it's easy to sell fem seeds, make more.
Well, you understand it because you see that your sales are like 80-20 probably.
They flipped.
Yeah, and it was like that. So that was kind of one of the sad parts of watching that all develop too in Europe, is where you saw, and like here it's the same. People want auto flower, fucking auto fem bullshit. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, come on, guys. Like, I feel like regular seeds are better for
we'll use that as a segue into the couple of the next questions, especially since we got Duke on about breeding and wanting people to breed and not just giving, just taking autos. And if you want more, you got to buy more autos, or just taking fems and taking what you're given, not really being able to work anything. But who is one of the craziest persons to ever walk in the THC shop in Amsterdam?
Oh, before you said the Amsterdam, I would have just gone, Duke.
Craziest.
You got Linus Lewis, anybody who's over there.
I mean, the craziest one was the redhead chick from 90210 came into the store one time. I didn't recognize her at all, but the guy that worked for me from Oklahoma was like, "Oh, that's fucking whatever." I can't remember her name, but she was wasted, right? And she was with this guy who was She was with this guy who was like,
that was Duke,
super slimy Vegas style dude, and they came in and they bought mushrooms, right? And we were talking about, and so Matt was selling them mushrooms, and he's like, this guy would literally mushrooms. Okay. This is back when we could still sell them, and then he would like read National Enquirer, right? This guy loved like Britney Spears. He was all about Britney Spears. Right? He was he knew every girl show chick, and he had like, it was kind of creepy. He had like pictures of them on the wall, and so he had Paris Hilton pictures on the wall and stuff. Okay. I was like, okay, serial killer mentality.
Yeah.
A little bit.
What's creepy about that?
Nothing. And they were all perfectly lined up all around his apartment. So it was like,
wow.
You could just stare at girls all day. Anyway,
like
so this chick was wasted, right? She was already wasted. They bought mushrooms, and when they left the store, I was like, oh, good luck, you know what I mean, with that. Apparently, they got on a flight like hours later, right? And I think she took a bunch of ecstasy, because she was like making out with just random people on the plane, like going up and sitting on guys' laps and starting to make out with them and stuff. And when they landed, they had the police there waiting for them in L.A. Then Matt, who reads National Enquirer. We get the National Enquirer, and they're wearing the same clothes that we were when they were in the shop. And she looks wasted, and she's in handcuffs. And I'm like, holy shit,
Look
dude.
what you did, Adam.
Look at that. Like, it was hilarious. It was fucking crazy. It was like one of those things where it was like, that was some full circle shit right there. But yeah, she got super. She made a scene. So that was one of the craziest, like, wacky stories. But I mean, of course, we've had. Amsterdam is like a magnet for weirdos, dude. There's every weirdo on the block came into our spot at some point. You know what I mean? So it was the funny part too about selling clothes like that is that you kind of could clock people as they came in. You know what I mean? You could figure out if they could afford the fucking clothes you even had, because half our shit was quite expensive, but also you could kind of figure them out. Like, all right, I got you. You know what I mean? And it was hilarious. It was just like it was fun to be able to get people really high and keep them fucking warm. You know what I mean? That was like our goal. Like, keep them high, keep them warm.
I love it so much.
I know that same thing with something else, but yeah.
There you go.
If you're cold, they're cold. Bring them inside.
So what's the of the classic catalog? What's the one strain from THCs you think got slept on?
Well, I mean, not available anymore, obviously, but
everything's available somewhere.
The one that got stolen from the apartment.
No, we had a strain called Acorn, which was which was
I've
a
had that on the bank.
Snowbud, which is a Snowbud hybrid. So we got Snowbud clone from somebody from Oregon that came out there. I think it might have even been Dynasty, because he used to come out a lot and bring me different things. But
Really?
that, yeah, way back in the day, it was kind
You
of fun.
worked with Kinesis, the Granddaddy Perps guy?
Professor Pete.
Dynasty's the Oregon guy.
Yeah, Professor Pete.
Salmon Creek Big Bud stuff. He did a lot of Salmon Creek stuff and things like that. But anyway, so he gave us this Snowbud. We made this thing called Acorn, and it was available from like 93 to 96 maybe. And it ended up, one time there was a guy from Mallorca in Spain, and he owned the grow shop there, and he bought seeds off of us back then, went back to the island, and literally came back and said, everybody on Mallorca, they all smoke Acorn. Like, it was like literally the whole island was growing the same weed because this guy was selling clones out of his spot. And it was just like, I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome. We got like an island somewhere just all smoking the Acorn. But that was it. And we had to get it. We tried to get it back. I think Doug got it back from him for a little while. So we had like a kind of a relaunch of it. But it was also not.
Never the same as it was. It wasn't that one.
It wasn't the one.
What about Heavy Duty Fruity? That was you, right?
Yeah, that's also that's a
dude,
good.
We grew the fuck out of that shit, man. It was so good. Like I made a lot of money with that one, man.
That was a good strain too. Yeah, that was definitely that one I got from Dave Richards, the infamous Dave Richards, who was the guy who brought us the Underground Bunker episodes, which were by far one of our most popular episodes because it was like a stoner fucking wet dream of like a football field underground in the fucking 80s, 90s. Like, holy shit, you know, and that's
all good till you're dealing with all that mildew and mold.
Well, yeah. Well, no, they were in the high desert. It was all in Antelope Valley, so it was pretty fucking dry.
Oh, nice.
So it wasn't, but it was a bunch of houses. So that's when Gigax had built. So he was a plumber by trade. So he pretty much had the whole hydro thing figured out, and they would do these purpose-built houses from the ground up, like build the house for growing. You know what I mean? It's like fucking on point. And then they had like 9 of them at one point, and they were when they got busted, it was kind of like the biggest news in the world. But that's where so he had gotten. He got me Calex, Heavy Duty Fruity, Mendocino Madness. All those varieties came from him at the time. And no, that the cool part was when he gave me those seeds, he gave me like a blueprint with everything. So it came in like the color of the pollen I need to sort. You know what I mean? Like he had it down to, you could tell he had put a lot of work into it. So he like, don't use the mustard colored.
That was Dave Richards.
Yeah, so he was on point with some stuff.
So
now he's a born again Christian. Now he's a born again Christian, and I have no idea what's up with him. But what's that?
It sounds like you knew half the shit he was talking about, but then the other half the shit was just completely made up.
No, well, no, because we met Gigax in the end, and that was where it was all everything was confirmed. It was just that he was only 16 years old when all that shit went down. You know what I mean? So he was he was going out with Gigax's daughter.
Yeah, he's the boyfriend.
And so when they went to jail, they got a message to him to go find the seeds, and so he went back to the house to get the seeds that they had hidden. So, I mean, all that was confirmed. Like, that was real stories, but the problem was somehow he embellished the genetics a bit too much, because all of a sudden it was like, when we talked to Frank, he was like, no, I was pretty much just growing Big Bud and some other variety, but it wasn't like somehow, because that was when the OG story was developing, and he really kind of tried to insert himself into that, and it was kind of like, dude, it's not jive.
Typical fucking Wooklore, dude.
It didn't jive. And so it was interesting though, because it was like we were learning, we were so stoked about the underground grows and all the, those were all confirmed with newspaper fucking articles, and so it was like, okay, that's real, that happened.
Yeah, it's like that's cool enough, guy. You can stop right there.
Exactly.
Like,
you didn't have
to
exactly. So he could, and what was crazy was the first ADSI, we gave him an award, Lifetime Achievement Award. You know, we were fucking on.
I remember that.
Right?
I remember that.
Exactly. And so then he got really weird on me and turned like classically, you know, started getting bizarre. Anyway, it's one of those.
So he went looking for the perfect Pinot and found Jesus instead.
Yes.
You need some Jesus in
That's a
your life,
story
man.
told by so many.
Yeah, so I've heard that story. All right, so now let's get into a couple. You obviously failed the fucking minute quickfire round.
I know I'm the worst. You'd never ask me to do quick
All
fire.
right.
That's like
This is your. This is
But
your.
there are some others, some juicy ones down here. I
Unless
do
it's a
want to
yes
get
or
to
no
those, but
answer, you're fucked. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna
Yes.
give you some bonus ones here.
No.
Which THC's collabs turned into a disaster and why?
Ooh.
These are the quick questions.
How do you get a quick question?
Really?
This is like the hard disaster.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
you're getting hate mail from Mark for sure.
like quick questions is like marry, kill, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
All right, we can do the one
simple.
word. Okay, I still want to know these
Marry,
questions
kill.
though. But
Yeah.
It's
That's
F, Mary, kill.
That's a
all right,
tough
they
one.
want to play the one round game. Let's go the one round game. One answer.
What do you know
one
about
answer.
quantum physics and shit like that?
Head-to-head. How about a head-to-head?
90.
Head-to-head with the Duke. That's what you need to do.
Amsterdam in the 90s.
Who answers?
Head to head?
You,
Like,
Dunn.
You trying to be
I'm done here.
Quick fire round. We got like.
Vinny even came back to play guitar.
Amsterdam in the 90s. One word.
Amazing.
Nerdy.
Bubblegum. One word.
You're killing me with the one word.
James.
Bubblegum.
Delicious.
You guys wanted to fucking play the game, not me.
I know.
Delicious.
There you go.
Vinnie.
See, he's answering for me.
Go.
Shows worldwide.
MK Ultra.
Secret.
Fucking dick in the dirt.
Clandestine.
Breeding.
Overplayed.
I'll be interviewing Duke next. But this is
Lifelong. It should be. Yeah, it's just natural. It's just natural.
Breed
An
or
endeavor.
die.
competition.
It sucks.
None.
Hype.
Huh?
Hype.
Exactly what it sounds like. It's like L.A.
Reading.
Corporate weed.
Live well.
Fucking
Guys,
dead
this
end.
is fucking right. I'm done, you people.
Dead
I'm not
end.
interviewing Dave.
Corporate weed. Cardboard.
Legacy.
Overplayed.
The plant.
It's a teacher.
Next.
Next
Ooh.
what?
What's next?
What's next?
One word. Next.
Hash.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Yes.
And you followed all the rules.
Adam Dunn, you've said it
I
all.
like it.
No, but it's the truth. I mean, once you've, I mean, hash is where it's at. Really.
Hash.
It is long term.
I wish we could just grow hash.
Well, it's
I love growing hash. Hash is my favorite plant to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
terrible
All right.
questions.
So now let's transition and go to the freak show stuff. Let's get into the freaky stuff.
Let's get into it.
I want to hit
Alright.
this. What is this next one? This because this is all freak show, right?
This is Freaky D,
Freaky D.
which is the sour.
All right. So actually, yep, my notes are all fucked up here.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I know.
Too reliant on notes. That's how Mark makes
Okay,
it go
this is
awry.
great.
He's
That's
always
my
relying
computer.
on show
Okay.
notes.
You know Barbara Walters, James Bean.
I know. You've got all these iconic strains behind you, right? Like Sage Bubblegum. And now you're doing something fresh with Sage Master Select. How does what you learned at THCs feed into the new line that you've got coming out? Like how do we make the transition between Dunn with THCs and Dunn with Sage Master Select?
I mean, the problem was is that when you're with all the THC stuff that we did back in the day, it was like we really kind of worked on our own. We were at our own speed, doing our own thing, right? Whereas when you get like what you notice from especially you would notice as a retail, is that people are. You know, there's so many flavors out there, and I felt like I was kind of like locked in a box sometimes because I always my way of breeding was always like to try to be as original as possible and try to stay in my own lane and really like Soma, for instance, had Soma, DNA, Greenhouse. They all use the same male, right? They all use this fucking one male amni. I don't know. It was like Super Silver Mom or male that everybody used, and it was just kind of like it was rinsed out because everybody's weed started to be the same, and I was like always like, nope, never gonna always have my own male and run my own things, because if you don't, you're literally just piggybacking off of everybody else. And that's kind of that was my ways for so long that I did watch, like everybody would be growing shit and I have no real world experience with it because I'm like, nope, in my own thing. So one of the things I realized coming back to the States is that it was like I do want to do collabs with people and try different people's weed and so like the Freak Show, for instance, as we're getting back to that, was what I realized is that I like mutations. Whenever I go to grow, if there's something weird in the room, it's like I'm always going to go back to that weird plant and check. Like that's where I can really see progression in a sense. Whereas if it's like when things are too, like
boring.
Like I haven't grown a single monoculture room forever unless I'm in a commercial facility or something like that. But besides that, it's like everything's always like 20 different things at once because I'm always trying to look for something different, and then the Freak Show was you gave me a pack, right? Probably, I don't know what year you got that originally, maybe 17 or something like that, like 16, 17.
I think. Yeah.
And I had it in my fridge with I have so many, because everybody would give you things and it's like you don't have time to grow everything, obviously. So it was like one of the first packs that I'd grown out in a while where it was somebody else's stuff, because I was like, okay, now I've got to try these anyway. And I think I had like 9. Here, I can send the photo actually to Mark, but I had on that pack I had 1 male and 9 females, and the 1 male was the only one that was a V1 type. And the V1 type is the less freaky of the Freak Show ones, right? You have the V2 types, which are the ones that are pinnate, which have the crazy.
So for those that don't know, and I'm not completely caught up, I just have the picture. So what's the one V1, V2? Break that down for us.
I'm going to send Mark a picture of the V1 and the V2 type. So
I have those photos.
The V1, you have the male that I sent you, right? Did I send you? No. I'll send it to Mark right now. But the V1 type is like more of a prehistoric looking plant where you have kind of like weird double serrations on the leaves where they're not uniform, and it's also produces so I didn't release any of the V1 types because they weren't, like, when people hear the word Freak Show, they kind of want freaky. They want more freak. They don't want it just to be like.
Right. When you told me you were doing the breeding and you chose the less of the freaky males, I was like, why? Go for the freak.
Well, see, that was the thing, well, first of all, I had only 1 male, so that was my one. That was my
choice.
But what was really cool with it was that everything that it was crossed with it got huge, like ridiculously huge, and so I mean that's never a bad thing to have as far as. Here's the photos here. So
I love
this.
And so here's like the whole group of them. And let me see, Mark. Boop.
See if I can beat him.
What, you got him? Hold on.
Yeah.
I don't think I sent you these.
Well,
ones.
no, you sent me. I have V1.
I got them, so I.
You do in the folder marked V1. Those are the.
Oh, you do have it already. So. Okay. Oh, this is.
Don't you be my folder? What the fuck? You're boxing me.
Okay, so this is so these are the V1 types, which I haven't released yet. These are gonna these ones I think we'll do a release later in the month. But all the plants, like that one's a purple grease monkey, I believe, by leaf shape. But all of them are just monsters. Like
They look massive.
Yeah, like I would go into the room and just be like, "Holy fuck, dude!" Like every time. And what's interesting is with all the freak shows, it doesn't really seem to like as far as the terps go on it. The freak show itself is kind of like lighter, and it's got more of a floral kind of vibe to it. But it's more the growth pattern that you're kind of shooting for anyway. And so it blends itself well. But did you get that one? Here, this is the one that I wanted to show. This is the V1 type for specifically as far as the male goes. Okay, that plant, so you can see those are all the plants together. And if you look in the very back, in the middle, there's one plant, which I'm sending a photo to Mark now, which was the male. And there you go.
Big leaf.
And so it like would double so if you zoom in on those, see, look at how
there's a mutant part on it too, yeah.
See how the serrations on it are just so random. I think they're not even equal or anything. Oh, yeah. It's a very vigorous fucking plant though, but it was very prehistoric-y. And
yeah, it looks like an old
and Max,
fern.
who's the guy who's behind the freak show, so Max and his father, Shapeshifter, they have V1 types like this that literally have 2 layers of leaves stacked perfectly on top of each other. So it's like a clamshell almost, where you're like, the fuck is going on here?
Is that the equivalent of strong like bull?
I mean, it really said something, as far as like, and when you like, you could see that certain plants would have the same thing where the leaves, I mean, it was like a Dirk Diggler fucking leaf or something. You're like, it's got a little bend on it and everything. It goes down and then it bends a little to the left, and you're like, Jesus Christ, how big is this fucking leaf?
Mark, did you understand the Dirk Diggler reference?
He did.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Did you not?
That's how I explain people as breeders. When people ask me about breeders, I'm like, well, there's someone like Odie, who, if he gets a mutant, he's going to step on it, squish it, and get the fuck out of his way, and he's going to run from it. Doesn't want to ever talk to it or see it again.
So the V1
and
type,
people like Adam, who sees a mutant and is like, "Fuck it, what is that? Let me play with that. Let me fuck around with that."
Well,
so that's why there's different breeders.
So that's a V2 type, right here. Or this is the pinnate type, and so there's like every single one is different. Here's another, like they have similarities, but some of them would stay like all curled up, and then they would open up later when they grew. Other ones would be like this next one I'm sending is like a snowflake or something, where you're just like, what? Like, new one coming, Mark?
Okay.
I think.
I love it.
Did it go?
This is...
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, you got it. I mean, so they were like kind of like the Australian bastard cannabis, also similar, but strangely enough, even though the leaves would look like this, I mean, the buds are pretty normal, so it's...
How can the buds be normal on something like that? What the fuck?
I mean, sometimes it depends. You'd have some that were, mixed, like a little more runny or whatever, but a lot of them would produce pretty solid buds.
I mean, that's the type you give to like a grandma who grows 100 of them and has
this
no
is the
idea
thing
what
is,
it
I
is
wish
until
this
it
mutation
flowers.
was 20 years ago. It would have been fucking amazing. That's the part of it too, where I'm just like, I like to see people get inspired when they see something they've never seen before. You know what I mean? So if you show that to almost any grower, and if they haven't seen it before, their fucking mind is blown. And so,
what? That's weed? Yeah.
No, yeah, I feel like that's the first time I've seen that male up close on camera.
So would you say that definitely, would that kind of reinvigorated your fire? Like that kind of got you started up again in breeding?
Well, no, I mean, I'm always doing something, but the thing was that just...
That's gotta be one of the weirdest plants you come across, though, working with.
It is, and it's also just like... It's funny because a lot of, like, so Heart and Soil, who's friends of the show there, Brett, he was doing a freak show run too, and it's like you meet breeders, it's like you're trying to tame a wild animal or something, you know what I mean? Because when you cross, it's unpredictable, so you don't always, like, so when you take your first generation and cross them back to themselves, you'll get about 25% maybe that'll do it, right? That'll be fully pinnate. You have to keep going inwards, breeding. You have to inbreed it more to get it to pop out more. And so it's like right now I'm only 2 generations in, so you're still not going to get 100%. And in a way, you kind of don't necessarily want that. You kind of want those. I love the mutations that you get where it's a normal plant, except maybe you have buds growing where they shouldn't be growing on the middle of the leaves or things like that. But those mutations are better producing plants in the end. You know what I mean? They're more solid. And whereas if you go with the full pinnate style, sometimes they'll produce. It's usually the V1 types are definitely more tameable, you know. And that was kind of my original reason for doing that. But I also thought what I noticed is that people really want the full on freaks, you know, just from the, even if it's from a novelty point.
They need the freak.
I love the freak.
So then we're just gonna segue to a different direction. Before we go into freak show, let's talk about the breeder, the mixtapes, the series you released, which actually encourages people to breed, and you give them 3 or 4 different strains. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So
which Duke was in a pack of the mixtape series. So
Duke was in there. He got a hit. He had a hit single in the, or two hit singles actually. The one
single, home run, baby.
No, these are tapes. These are mixtapes.
There's music we're talking about, Dave, not baseball. Music.
Yeah.
I see.
So the idea was a couple layers deep, as I always tend to do. First of all, cassette tapes in general are
greatest packaging idea.
Pretty much like
really,
ever
right?
in the history of marketing.
Well, it's just universally like, you know, tactile thing. You put it in your hand. You know what's up, unless you're from the you know, born in 2000 or whatever, and you're like, what the hell? I mean, we literally were at a trade show watching this 2 sons of a guy, right? There was a guy standing there, and his 2 kids were there with 18 and 20 or something like that. They picked up the tape, and they were like doing all this with their thumbs, trying to like make it open up or something. And we're looking at them like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? And they were like, we're trying to open it up. And I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong with your kids? You know what I mean? And then I showed them. I was like, it's like a book. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen a book before, but they open up like this. You know? Wow, it's amazing. But yeah, here's I'll send some photos. So the first round, I just did them as a idea to sell. Like basically, you buy 1 pack, I'll give you 2 extra packs, because at the end of the day, it's like sometimes you don't know what you want, or maybe, you know, you think you wanted this, I give you these other 2, the chances are there's a 66% chance you might actually like those ones more. So it's kind of a good way to, and also they're all regular, so the idea I would tell people is like, look, you have so many combinations right here between the males and the females. If you wanted to make your own seeds, you have it within one, where it's you know, just a way to get people to grow more weed. But then I realized, like, oh wait, if I do a collab with somebody, because with the tape, now we have the option of throwing a QR code on there, put some music in there. If it's themed, because I figured every grower has their own theme anyway, right? I didn't do one with JJ, but at one point I was like, oh, got to do one with JJ at some point. You know, I was going to do, and then with him it would be, you know, obviously Dave's musical choice of reference, right? So if some Deadhead shit.
Madonna.
But then when I did something, then James Loud,
Devin and the Dude,
was kind of funny, because he hit me up and he was like, dude, we got to do a Dunn Loud collab. And I was like, oh, I like that. I was like, all right, let me work on it. And so I did the first round with him, which was because I'd wanted to do Sage Against the Machine for a long time. I already kind of thought of that one years ago, and I was like, oh, finally, it's time to do, because what he did was a reversal where he hit me up, said he had made some seeds with the sage and sour, and he had taken 3 males and open pollinated with those 3 males. He did 6 varieties at the time, and I think we had 2 Dukes in there, right? Was Swayze from you too, Duke?
Yeah. The funny thing is like it was other breeders using my shit and their shit that collab with you.
Yeah, so he exactly it was a classic, right? Where he used a lot of he was going for that LA OG kind of dominant sort of thing where he had Josh D with Ghost times. That was a good cross. That was the Ghost times Josh D times Sage and Sour, and he did a Junior Mint Sage and Sour, Swayze Sage and Sour, 187 also. He did 2 of yours, Duke.
Yeah, I know. That's what I used to say. I'm your favorite breeder's favorite breeder, man.
That's the way it is, right? And so then we did a second round because he had made enough to do the second round. So then we did the Evil Empire, also Sage Against the Machine Part 2. You know, so it was a creative outlet, but at the same time also it was like you could tell when people, because back in the days I would literally fill a tape case with joints to go to school to sell my joints. That was how I sold my joints, and I'd like have my little tape case and flip it open, sell my $2.
Each mixtape is like 4 strains.
3 strains. We did 3. We did 3. 3 strains per thing, and then and again, like the collab concept works because each time you do a tape, you kind of have. It's also like really fun from a packaging point of view, just because like mixtape was like everything back in the day, right? I mean, everybody was making them. Some people took it to the next level, started doing their own.
I DJ'd one of my high school fucking dances with the mixtapes.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
I love it so much.
Chicks used to love.
I was gonna say I have so many mixtapes. I love it.
You used to make a tape. If you liked a girl, you'd like to make her this tape. Like, hey, we made this tape. She put in like her little arm Walkman.
I made this for you.
Exactly, I love it.
And then I did a collab with Miles, of course, from We Should Taste Good. We did a whole collab because he funny enough, that one was, I didn't really know him that well, but I had him in my feed on Instagram, and one day he posted a picture of the Mesa he had his Mesa cookies, and it was a male that was just about to bust out, and I was literally like standing in my room going like, fuck, these things are not gonna, like, there's no way that my male is gonna pop in time to fucking hit this room up. So I hit him up and I was like, hey, any chance I could maybe do a little collab with you? And he's like, oh sure. And he came over and he gave me a tiny little plant. I mean, it was so small, and that thing was potent as fuck, dude. It was like one of those deals where my plants were so far, like, it was like I caught it on the last day I probably could have made it happen, you know what I mean? And it was hilarious because again, like, I didn't really know him, and then after I started growing out the seeds, I was like, hey, I need to get you on I got James Bean's fucking roster here. So then that's when we introduced him to James and got him.
Little Freudian slip.
Maybe save the next story for Patreon, and we can send Mark on his way, and you and Duke can talk about.
Hold on, I got
There's a picture of the freak off.
Pictures freak now.
Oh, the freak off.
Yeah. I just don't know how the fucking. I know I got it off for 4 years.
I just sent you some packaging things so the people who are watching can see the amazing packaging back in the day.
I mean, it really is
in the
something
late
special.
1900s. Adam Dunn.
Historians will speak highly of it.
Oh yeah, they'll dig this up someday. Oh, amazing!
They were brilliant.
What is this? This does not make music, but it does.
Well, the funny part was
in your mind.
The funny part was is that if you're standing at a show, it's like people really don't, like, you get neck twister, like, what the?
I got a picture of your table boot. You had the boom box out with the cassette.
Red Rider. Any Red Rider in the photo? No?
There you go. Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
There you go. Miles.
I remember.
It was Weed Done Taste Good.
But it did Weed Done Taste Good, of course.
Good.
Had to.
That's what we were at the fucking nudist colony trying to sell seeds or whatever. And you had a dirty van, and I drew a cock and balls on the back.
I
the
totally
dirt.
remember.
Wait, where was this? What?
Yup, save the story for Patreon.
Oh, the cock and balls.
Come
Let's-
see us on Patreon. Happy Halloween, guys, by the way.
Yes, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everyone. Sorry I didn't get to the good stuff.
We have-
Huh?
Oh, we have
The
a whole.
good stuff is for Patreon. We love you
Or
guys.
you're
also.
edging
Come
them.
join
You're
us.
edging them, James. Don't you know?
Edgelord.
I mean, you guys can go as long as you want. I'm not.
I can't go that long tonight.
Okay,
I need,
it's all right. Are we moving on to
We're
ads?
just blaming you, but that's what we
Yes.
need to do.
Okay.
Moving on to.
We're moving on to Sohi Cafe, 4300 West Alameda. Come get your pre-order in. I just had some brisket. It's delicious.
I was
You
about
should
to
get some
text Vinnie and say,
today.
can you start a hamburger for me?
I saw you with your menu.
The mac and cheese is good. We got also the taqueria outside, so check that all out.
Taqueria.
Yeah, I'll be back. I'll put that
It
in.
really is something special.
Yeah.
You want that with cheese? Which one you want?
With cheese, no onion. No, just make it the way he normally does, no cilantro.
And Vinny's doing a special $1,000 podcast special.
$1,000
Yeah,
podcast.
he'll record your
special?
podcast. Yeah,
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah, we moved up the price lately.
Yeah, we moved up the price.
Wow, that's
So
Good for you,
Duke.
man.
You need
I would do
to
it.
come in and
Yeah, do your
spend a G.
podcast here.
Spend a G.
Drop a grand.
drop a
Get a
grand,
podcast.
get a
I
podcast.
don't
Yeah.
have any money. Can I pay in Spirit or something?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
Drink tickets
I'll
is
trade
what
you the drugs.
I'm used to drink
Dude.
tickets.
weed, paying weed.
we get a Duke deal for sure.
SohiCafe.com.
4300 West Alameda.
That's right.
That's where we are.
Yeah.
October
And they got
deals
good
are
parking,
scream.
too.
At Seeds Here Now, no tricks, just treats for growers who want more. Breeders of the Month, Skunk House Genetics, 20% off, loud, potent, and packed with funky flavor. If you know, you grow. Flavor of the month, apple, crisp, candy, or gas. Every apple flavor strain is 20% off. Autumn Terps never tasted so good. Heavy Days Genetics are back with BOGO. Buy one, get one free. Just add 2 to your cart and we'll slash one down. Clone of the deal month, buy 3, get 1, plus free shipping. Handpick your genetics and grow your way. Clearance BOGO is on. Double up on fire strains at clearance prices. Cheap just got cheaper. Want free seeds? Follow us on Instagram. Seeds Here Now _seed_bank. And enter our giveaway. Winner scores
Mark.
Serious Stash. What's up?
I did
So
pretty
thank
good
you, Mark.
last week, bro.
Appreciate it.
Flash sales. Oh, they're lurking. Random drops all month
Not
long.
like
Sign up for
Mark, though.
texts and follow us to catch them before they vanish. October's for growers who want more. Shop now at seedsherenow.com and stack your stash with scary good savings. Seeds Here Now, America's Seed Bank.
So smooth.
So good.
Show me on my screen. My images are too large. God damn, my images.
YoTip.com or Yo Products LLC on Instagram. Just find Yo Chip there. I love this product. It's kept us safe and healthy for years now. Check them out online. Go to their Instagram page. Tell them you heard about it on the show. Don't share a joint with anybody. You don't know where they were. Just
Hell yeah.
minutes
You don't know
before.
where that fucking mouth's been.
Yeah, Duke
Exactly.
knows. Okay.
Wow.
It's the fingers.
Dude
man.
knows.
It's the fingers we really don't know
All
where
right.
those have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fingers we can
Wow.
guess, you know what
The
I'm
fingers
saying?
tell
but-
stories.
Fingers could, if the fingers could talk.
Until you have a black light with you at every joint session, you should be putting a Yo Tip on it. You
Thank
pass
you,
the
the
joint,
black light.
not the tip.
Black light enjoyer, my
There you
man.
go.
It's like back in the day, dude. It's like, oh, I got this charas. It's so heady. I'm like, man, fuck that dick beater hash, man.
Fuck that dick beater hash is one of my favorite. quotes of yours.
YoTip.com. OzoCoffee.com.
I
Get the
drink
done
it
deal.
every day. You go to ozocoffee.com. You enter Done Deal 2025 at checkout. You get 20% off your order. You want to get the subscription. You do like rosin dogs. They have so many unique new strains. Just get the subscription. They'll keep it varied for you. ozocoffee.com.
Strains?
Place.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
Single source, baby.
Buildasoil.com.
855-877-SOIL. Check out their freaky sale, but you always want to mention the Done Deal so we can get credit for it.
Yeah.
They'll
And they
help-
saw my soul there,
Where did
too.
you read?
Yeah, don't use the
sale?
Duke Diamond
Oh,
discount. Use the Adam Dunn Show discount. It's way better.
Yeah.
Way
you'll probably
better.
get one.
And it
Yeah,
works.
man.
Get the done deal.
Oh, you can do the Duke deal. If
KayaCannabis.com.
You got to check these guys out. They've been sporting the show for a few weeks now.
Yeah,
Kaya
all their weed is
Cannabis.
good.
Really good.
I've been enjoying it.
2 stores on Colfax and where's the other one, Mark?
Lakewood on Jewel.
On Lakewood on Jewel. Just tell me you heard about it on the show.
Hey, can you ask him if I can park my van in front for tonight?
Yeah, no problem.
Oh yeah, sure.
We got you.
Sure.
Yeah, Hey, Mark,
I sent it.
Yeah, Mark, show him the van. Show him the van.
Scooby-Doo van?
No, it's better.
Oh, wow.
There it is.
There you go.
Yeah, no problem.
That doesn't look shady at all.
No, of course. You got
Exactly.
It's like,
You got it.
KayaCannabis.com. Dabx.com.
One of the best dab rigs on the market, especially when you're smoking dabs with a lot of your friends. You don't need to have an entire box of Kleenex. All you need is one terp wipe.
Who the hell's using Kleenex?
I mean, not Q-tip.
You got
Fat
yeah,
dabs.
I know what Dave's thinking.
Actually, on the
Dave's ready to go home. He's got Kleenex on the mind.
That's right.
Is that what you do with the dumbbells?
They're really engineered very well. Dave hooked me up with one. and,
Dave approved.
Yeah, it's really good, and I'm not even that big into it. But I ended up letting the homie borrow it, and
He fucked it up.
yeah, like he loved it so much he quit his fucking job and just stays at home.
Hey, buy a Dab X.
If you
quit
want-
your job.
Dabx.com, done deal at
Guaranteed to
checkout.
quit your job.
Quick,
every
Mark.
day.
Quick,
Yeah.
Mark.
HeartandSoilProject.com.
There
Quality
he is.
CBD products and cultivation services.
Just tell me you heard about it on the show.
Boom. 14erboulder.com.
I mean, you got to check these guys out. You got to try their rosin. You got to try their pixie pens. Try the Truth. Try the DJC. You go to 14erboulder.com. Hopefully, Done Deal will still be working.
Get tangled in terps. Grovebags.com.
Lance is very excited that everybody's been calling and asking for him.
Yeah,
You
keep
go to
calling.
grovebags.com.
Call, ask for Lance.
Ask for
They're really
Lance.
cool.
These are great.
They gave me a fat stack of them that were like 20 bag sizes at a show,
Yeah.
so I could like give people some weed. They hooked it up. They're really nice people.
Yeah, and they're quality products for sure.
Yeah.
If you're doing an event or you want to do any branding, contact them for sure because they can do any combination you want.
Yeah, they can print your shit on the front of the bag, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, 100%.
They totally did.
Do
Yeah.
custom work like that.
Shit.
And even like bin liner shit. If you really needed something, you're like, I got a 2,800 gallon bin liner. And they'll be like, okay, we can do that.
Hey, Dunn, you remember back in the day when you'd have to get the specialized little nickel and dime bags that have like a Superman on it or a Batman and shit? Some motherfuckers knew it was your shit.
Plastic underoos.
Back in
In elementary school, they
the
told us to
Heron
watch out for
days.
that
The
stuff.
Heron days.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you definitely want to look
Danger.
out for it. And when you see it,
Buy
you
it.
get 5 of them. We get 5 of them, man.
If
Smiley
you see
face.
it, buy it.
Money later.
Grovebags.com. Get the done deal. Terpwipes.com/done deal.
All you need to do, terpwipes.com/done deal. No need to enter a promo code. You must have this product if you're dabbing and you have any dabbing friends that are even half as messy as Adam is. So you go to terpwipes.com/done deal.
Numbnuts, THC and CBD infused nut butters delivered to your door.
So good.
Done deal at checkout, 20% off. Try the pet one.
Nut butter. Dave.
Yeah, they love that one.
That's my favorite one. JeromeBaker.com.
Honestly, I'm feeling on the neck on the top floor right now.
Got him. Get a tube.
Grab a
Support
tube.
American.
Oh, you know who
Glass
reached out to me?
blown.
Cameron Tower.
What's that?
Cameron Tower. He's also he's one of Bob Snodgrass's students.
All right.
And I'm going to get him in touch with DabX, and we'll maybe have him on the show.
Let's
They
do
know
it.
Each other.
Wonderful.
JeromeBaker.com. HolosHealth.org. MMJ cards and microdose mushroom therapy. Get the done deal.
Pink Floyd
Conbud.
over here.
New Yorkers, hit up Danny Danko. He's there every Saturday
Yep.
at the Yankee Stadium,
He's at the Yankee
Conbud.
Stadium.
They hire people who have been in
Danny
jail,
Danko.
which means that
Hey,
Duke,
go
you can get a
fuck
job
yourself.
Hey. Exactly. Go to Conbud.
Conbud.com.
HortitechDirect.com.
Come on, guys. This is our cleanup hitter right here.
Come on, do
they
it.
have
Get a
been
greenhouse.
in the rotation now for, pre-COVID, right?
Someone needs one of these. I know it.
Pre-COVID. They've been with us for so long. We need somebody to buy one fucking greenhouse.
One.
Okay, just one. You get 5% off. Okay.
You can even buy one for Vinnie.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of what will happen, actually, if you just buy one.
If you buy one, Vinny will get one.
Someone's buying a greenhouse somewhere.
Someone's getting one.
Can we set one up behind your spot, like a small one, so people can come and see, and they can eat the brisket and look at your like tomatoes and peppers that you're growing for the restaurant.
Dude, as much as I love,
as
much as I love what Vinny's doing here, and really, he has turned a part of town into just a gem.
Thriving metropolis.
I mean, it really is.
Tacos.
It really is. He's doing something great here. This is not the mecca to have people come by and look at a garden greenhouse. Here, what we need you to do is buy one, Duke, and have it put on your land, and then we'll get a small one here. So you go to hortitechdirect.com.
I tell you what. All right, y'all remember in Goodfellas, the dude that sold the wigs and shit, and he had the commercial. He's like, and it can withstand 100 wins.
Morty. Yeah,
Morty's wigs.
Yeah, they fucking stick a pick in his neck, right behind his head.
Yeah, and that's what would happen to the greenhouse out back, dude. The wind would end up stabbing some old lady at the bottom.
That's exactly what would happen.
Thank you, Duke.
Blood
Appreciate
everywhere.
it. Hortitechdirect.com.
Get the done deal.
You're welcome.
Get the the cult jacket.
Yeah, you need the cult jacket, dude.
Get a cult jacket.
You'd
join
look,
the cult.
You'd look
You're
cute in
all
that
in
jacket.
this cult.
Oh yeah, that's you.
And get
Hey, is that a vest?
No, there's like a varsity jacket.
it's like an old school varsity
No,
jacket.
the first one didn't have no sleeves on it. It looked like
It does.
Like,
You just can't
like
see
you
it too
were
well.
fucking like this.
That one right there.
It just
Yeah,
looks
It's
like
just
it doesn't
white
have
and
Extra
not
white.
gray.
For you can cut the sleeves off, though. It'll look cool.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Whew. Whew.
All right, you guys, whoever hasn't joined Patreon, you have a few minutes to do so. Join Patreon. You're going to hear Adam tell stories about, stuff that he would never say. For
We just
people who
posted a
didn't
link
pay
in the
$1
chat.
fine.
Oh yeah, it gets really crazy.
Yeah.
Like I got a
Come
filter.
meet with
Like I
us,
got a
Vince.
filter on me or something. Well, one day, James, we'll get through it all.
Yeah,
One day.
James, I appreciate you.
I need to get
keep
my
us
AI
on
to answer your AI, because then this would flow faster.
Very AI.
You just call it part 1 and part 2
actually
and
Just
part
like
3. And
your
just-
AI.
Have your AI talk to my AI.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
We'll
We
work
just
it
You'll
all
go
out.
watch the Nuggets.
And we can just kick back.
Yeah. Hey, in another hour we will be watching.
Because it's like they would
Oh,
imagine how
amazing.
long the answers would
That's
be
why
of
you're
an
good.
AI.
No,
thing. It'd be
from
like,
a corn maze I'll be watching.
Or we deep fake you and get me to answer all the questions with a voice changer in the most fucked up way.
That'd be cool. I like that too.
Done.
That's even better.
He does have enough content to be able to do that. So
Well, hang on,
Yeah,
guys.
that would work.
Chat GPT free over here. Like, I can do it.
Join us in a few minutes when
Vast
Katie
amount
talks
of,
about her
marijuana.
her fresh hemp.
Like, oh.
Yeah, I'll go take 3 Tylenol right now for it. You know what I'm
There you
saying?
go.
Are you not coming to hang out with
You're
us?
going to come back, Duke.
That's okay.
No, I'm just gonna stay on
All right.
and
Yeah.
There you
keep
go.
trimming the weed.
Thank you,
Chairman.
James, for putting this together.
Thanks, James.
The opening you did was rock
Spectacular,
solid.
James.
That was good.
That was absolutely rock solid. It was a little
And you froze.
Wi-Fi iffy after that, but rock. Oh, you froze, you fucker.
No, he's
Chat
right
loved
there.
it.
No, he's still frozen.
Is he frozen?
No, he's just
He's gonna join us.
Pretending.
still.
He's pretending.
No, he's
He's
frozen.
really
He's just
good at
really
it.
enjoying it.
Take us out.
He's
Vinny.
really good at it.
Oh
Okay.
no, he ate one of them fucking
he's out.
That
That was like
No.
Cheshire
Tune in
Cat.
again for the continuation of the Adam Dunn show, Adam Dunn story.
All right.
Stories for days.
Bye, guys.
We'll see you on
Bye.
We love
Patreon.
you.
Practically every one of the top 40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove.
Later.
Are you playing the guitar, Vinny?
Yeah.
I play guitar too, dude. And harmonica.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah. See what's that?
I couldn't figure it out what it was earlier you were playing. I was like,
I
are you
give the
doing
kids
like an intro
jazz
to,
fusion
like,
albums.
Bus? Or was it burning down the house? Like, I didn't know. Like, it sounded like the little intro to either one.
I make it up as we go along. There's sort of a pattern.
Bye now.
Fuck it.
See you on Patreon.
Oh, okay. Do I gotta do anything, or do I just sit here?
You can sit there. The only thing we're gonna do is like stop the camera and
yeah.
restart the camera real quick, and then
We're still streaming.
I'm gonna feed these guys.